I like deals.
Welcome back to another WoW Go Make It video. First and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. This is something that I've said many times in many videos in the past year. Something I actually just never changed when it comes to videos. Now, don't get me wrong, there might have been different intros, different stuff like that every now and then, but it's always been the same. Me, Komlit, the guy who showed you raw gold for the average person. Now, I do want to say right now that this is not going to go anywhere. I've had a great year, and I want to say thank you so much to every single one of y'all guys. If it wasn't for y'all, I probably wouldn't be here. We've been going through a lot these past few years when it comes to YouTube. We had Minecraft, which was actually my first thing to start this channel. Then we got banned for no reason for a year, then reinstated, and then we went to World of Warcraft for the dead channel, and then we actually grew our channel with amazing people like you, and then we're here. Now, we learned a lot in the past few years, but 2019 has been the time that actually made us where we're at right now. I want to say thank you so much to every single one of y'all for actually getting us to here. It's been amazing. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who donated to my streams, to everybody who's been a Patreon, all that. I want to say thank you so much to the people who are still a Patreon to this day. Y'all guys are amazing. Y'all went the extra mile, and y'all stayed going the extra mile until the new year. Now, I do want to say right now that 2020 is going to be an epic year when it comes to gold making. We've got so many gold farms that it's going to be crazy, guys. Also, on top of that, Shadowlands is coming out, and I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to take a lead when it comes to gold making when Shadowlands come out. We're going to go ham just like we did in BFA. Now, I don't want to be a backseat driver no more. I want to actually take the lead in the community when it comes to gold making. So, if you've been enjoying my content, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what your favorite video was this whole year, guys. Don't get me wrong, we got a lot of stuff coming when it comes to 2020. A lot of things are going to change. We're going to be doing live streaming a lot more. We're going to be doing stuff with subscribers a lot more. Also, too, as well, tomorrow, or if Thursday, if I don't have a video out tomorrow, we're actually going to be having subscriber submissions. There's a big farm coming out that a subscriber gave me that works, but is not the best in the world, but is something that you can think about. Stuff like that is going to be in our channel. Trust me when I say that we're going to make a difference when it comes to 2020 gold making. Now, with that said, guys, this video is going to be plainly long. And if you watch it all, great. It's going to actually have a lot of farms that I've done in the past in this 2019. And actually going to be helping a lot of people who don't know about these farms and maybe just a video you can reference. Now, with that said, guys, I do want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to say thank you so much to every single one of you out there because it's been a great journey and it's not over. With that said, thank you so much to my Patreons. Thank you so much to everybody who's been here since the beginning. And enjoy this 2019 compilation. And as always, guys, stay stashy. Hey, what's up, my mama stashions, and welcome back to another WoW Go Make a video. First and foremost, I want to say thank you so much to all my Patrons out there. Y'all guys went the extra mile. We have a live stream coming up on Friday, so please be there if you're a Patreon. We have some packages to give y'all. So with that said, I want to go over what we're going to be doing today. What we're going to be doing today is a new series called Spotlight. Now, Spotlight is going to be something original that I brung up, and honestly, I think it's something that will help each and every one of you players out there. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is Hunters. Hunters are actually really good when it comes to resetting bosses, resetting moss, and actually farming as it is. Now, I do want to say right now that this is going to mean that you need to know how to use Feign Death. Feign Death is very easy. I think everybody knows it. It's just a one button press, and you actually lose aggro from mobs. So if you're actually pulling a mob pack and you Feign Death, they'll reset, or they'll actually just go back to their spots, depending on what mob pack you're picking. Now, we're going to be covering some spots that are actually not very known, but we actually have other spots in that's very known, but not in this video. If you want to see those, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you thought about this video. Remember, there is a code word in this video too as well, so look out for that. So let's get right into the spots. Alright guys, so the first spot we're going to be covering is in Crown Cathedral. If I say names wrong, I do apologize. This, tell me in the comments below. I do want to say right now, we did a 30-minute period here, and I did screw it up because, I am a noob, but like I always am. Now, I do want to say right now, this spot is really good when it comes to hunters and anybody who can actually drop aggro, but this is a hunter spotlight, so let's get right into it. So, first and foremost, I want to say in a 30-minute period, after killing all the mobs on the sides, not the big mobs, don't kill the big mobs, just leave them, right? You're going to kill all the mobs in the groups, but except for one mob. If you kill every single mob, they will not reset, but if you leave one mob on each side and Feign Death, you'll be fine. Now, if you do kill on one side, all of them, you'll be fine still. You'll have only one side, but hey, you want both sides because you get more per 30 minutes to an hour. Now, with a 30-minute period, only having one side because I messed up so bad, I actually got 10,000 gold, which was auction house value. Not too much compared to some of my other spots, but I do want to say right now, this can go up to 100 per hour, which 100k per hour actually, which is really good because there's a lot of stuff that you can drop here that's worthwhile. I do want to say right now that this is going to be not doubled, but it's going to have better outcome if you have both sides and not be like me. So with that said, within the hour, you're going to get about 400 frostweave cloth for one side, up to 800 frostweave cloth per hour for both sides. And if you're a tailor, you're going to get a lot more. I'm not a tailor at all. And if you have the, you know, basically the Wrath of the Lich King, you know, the enchantment thing or whatever for the tailor that gives you more cloth and everything, you're going to be better at this than I am. With that said, we do have raw gold too as well. It's going to be a 698 raw gold per hour if you have both sides. It's going to be less than that, about 349 per hour if you just have one side. So don't be like me. Don't mess it up. Get in there, do both sides, give it a try. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this spot. So let's get into the second spot. Alright guys, so before we get into the second spot, remember when you actually going to the second spot, you're going to come and get all this gear. Now, with it takes about 20 minutes to get to the second spot when you're actually going from the beginning of the Ice Crown all the way to the second spot. And you're going to get about 3,325 auction house gold. Well, you can get a lot more if something drops that's higher than that. But you're going to get about 846 raw gold. Now, you're probably like, well, what does it have to do with spots? Well, you got to understand when you're going to the spot when in Crown Cathedral, you're really going to be getting some gold on the way there. So just keep that in mind to add that to your gold value because it matters a lot actually when you get to the spot. So the second spot is going to be a really good spot. And honestly, I messed up again, but it's not a full video of mess ups. It's the whole point is that I just want to show you the spots, even if I don't show you the total in a 30-minute period. Now, don't get me wrong, this is the last mess up, but I will say right now in Ice Crown, I actually went to the spot, and the spot is before the frost or the frost worm. So basically what you're going to want to do, you're going to notice that a lot of spiders are going to fall down, right? Kill all those and then speed skin them. Now, you got to have skinning for this. If you don't have skinning for this, this is not going to be a spot for you at all. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do the spot without skinning, but it's not going to be as profitable as you would hope. So kill the first wave, skin them all, and then kill the second wave, and it's, you know, loot them, then feign death. I suggest you do that because there's only 3 waves. The third wave would actually, if you mess up, you will, just like I did, you will actually get stuck and not be able to do this till next week. Now, I do want to say right now that if you skin these, you're going to get these 3 items. These 3 items are worth a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, the second 2 are not worth as much as the first one. The first one is actually going to be Arctic Fur. Arctic Fur is worth a lot on a lot of servers. Like if you look at the Undermine Journal, which you see right here for US and EU, you're going to notice that they're worth a lot. Like for instance, the EU is going to be 150 each, and the US is going to be 77 each, which is pretty cool, guys, because you can actually get patterns from these 2 as well. If you actually go to a vendor, you're going to get patterns, which I could have a shot of the vendor location, but I'm going to be honest with you, if I don't, I do apologize for that. Now, these recipes are going to go for a lot. Actually, it's not recipes, it's patterns. They're going to go for anywhere from 15k to 50k, which is worth the while to do this. Now, I do want to say in not a 30-minute period, but a 5-minute period, I got 2,541 auction house gold from here, 12 raw gold, which we're not here for that, 4 Arctic Fur, and the other 74 and 12, and I'm not going to massacre the names. I don't want to do that for y'all guys. But anyways, that is really good for a 5-minute period. Just imagine if you kept doing this spot and kept getting good Arctic Fur and so forth. You can either sell those or you can go to get all the patterns you need to make these, you know, these gears and sell them on an auction house. Now, again, yes, it is a material farming, which is what y'all wanted. And also, too, as well, it is a transmog thing that you can do. And I want to stress, just like I do in all my farms, you got to take some time to actually sell T-Mog. And honestly, if you don't post it right, you will not sell. I will have a whole guide coming in the near future, how to sell T-Mog and sell it that same day, because I do that a lot. So let's get into the next spot. I hope you enjoyed all the spots in Ice Crown Cathedral. That is it for Ice Crown. So let's go to AQ20. All right, guys. So instead of actually a code word this week, this last code word that you're going to be getting is actually going to be more of a code question. So basically what it's going to be is this, okay? What is the best part of the video so far that you like? So you can watch the rest of the video and let me know in the comments below what you like about this video or what you like about the aspect of this series. So with that said, let's actually get into the last spots. So the last spot is going to be AQ20. AQ20 is something that a lot of people know and love to farm because they drop high-end gear. Now, like the Cloudkeeper leg plates and so forth and everything. So let's actually get into what we did. So first and foremost, I went in here and did all the mobs that I could do and without actually getting locked in here. Now, before we get into the spot, it took me 16 minutes and I got 9,464 auction house gold with 190 rugged leather because I am a skinner. Now, I did get a sun razor, which was, you know, it depends on where you go to. Like, this is not a high-end item. This can go anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 gold. It depends on your server. Is, you know, it's all right. So with that said, I actually went back to the first beginning.
Now, you notice that there's a lot of mobs in one room that are actually looking at their, general and their, their leader and so forth. Well, these mobs actually reset if you kill all of them and use Feigned Death. It is a great spot, and the reason why I say that, yes, each of these group leaders, which are just one each, will only be the ones you can loot from, but they have a high chance of dropping some of the highest gear in this area. Now, I did this for 30 minutes, and I got 130,056 auction house gold. It's actually worth a lot, to be honest with you, and that's the Cloudkeeper leg plates that dropped for me. It's actually worth about 70,000 on the EU, which is, it's not too much. I mean, it's less than what it was on my server, but it's about 128,312 gold on a US, which can go up to 160,000, which is a beast of a item. And I'm gonna be honest right now, you want to do this. You want to do this, and the reason why I say this, yes, I know the worms drop some good gear, but you got to go there and reset. And yes, you can reset and never get locked in because it takes about 60 minutes to run this whole place. But I will say right now, if you want to AFK and you want to make sure that you actually are getting a high chance of getting the great gear, like, all the excuse my language, the slut mog and so forth that everybody calls, this is the spot you want to do. You want to kill all these guys, Feint Death, and then boom, kill them again. By the time you kill all of them again, Feint Death will be back up, so you don't have to worry about anything. So with that said, I did do this spot for 30 minutes. I've done this before. I've done this whole instance for 10 hours, if y'all haven't noticed. Could be in the description. It'll show you all what I've got in 10 hours, and I got a lot in 10 hours, to be honest with you. I love this spot. I would love to do another 100 hours on this. If you like to see a video about that, guys, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I would love to do that. I mean, I would do that if we can get this video to 5,000 to 10,000 views. I would totally do 100 hours just on this spot or this whole dungeon. But with that said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I have a lot coming to y'all. We have another video coming out Friday. That is all the spots. It was a Hunter Spotlight. It's a new series I've been doing. I had actually started doing now. I hope y'all want to see more of this. I would love to do a Warlock Spotlight.
Hey, what's up, my WoW mustachians, and welcome back to another WoW gold making video. Today, as you can see, we are farming for some gold. Wait a minute, this is Minecraft. We're on game. Whoop. But anyways, all right, guys. So let's get right into the video. As y'all know, that's for like old past. We've done Minecraft. This is how we started this channel. And honestly, before we get into this, I want to tell y'all right now, I am not quitting. We are doing more and more gold. Yes, I've been lackluster. I do apologize for that, and it shows in the last video. But with that said, let's get into what we're going to be talking about. So first off, we're going to actually be talking about is Transmog. We're going to get into that in just a bit, but the other things we're going to actually talk about is mythic dungeons, or actually not mythic dungeons, regular dungeons, and we'll see how we can do those and how you can make some gold in current expansion. So let's get right into it. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about how Slutmog is coming down. Now, with that said, is actually these Transmog options coming out in the near future. Now, we don't have a date for it, but I'm going to say it's going to probably be in April whenever the new raid comes out. There will be an option to hide chest slot via Transmog coming in an upcoming Battle for Azeroth patch. Players will be able to hide helm, shoulders, cloak, and chest. The ability to hide chest is especially useful if you play an allied race with body tattoos, which I understand that, but I'm going to tell you right now, Blizzard, you do this crap, and you let everybody hide all that stuff and look at, the girls, whatever, the guys, whatever, and all this different thing, but yet you ban silly names. You ban silly names, but yet you're not going to ban people who really want to actually almost be naked and be at, I think it's Goldshire, right? Let's go to, all those places. You don't want to ban them. They're doing all this sexual content stuff, but you'll ban someone who makes a clever name that's just funny as hell, you know what I mean? Because, soy boys get offended. But with that said, let's actually get into the rest of it. And the thing is that the reason why I am discussing this is because Slutmog prices will, drop for chest and so forth. Now, don't get me wrong. You can't do that with legs, so the legs, Slutmogs will still be there. As I'm looking on here, there's nothing about legs at all. Like, unless they add that in, you could still sell the legs that you get from AQ20 and so forth. So you don't have to go sell them, but I would, because a lot of people are going to say, well, I don't want that no more because I can hide my chest. But with that said, I just want to let y'all guys to know this because it has to be something you got to know about, because this is gonna, for people who farm the chest and so forth, your prices are gonna skyrocket down because people don't need it no more. And don't get me wrong, you can still sell them. They're still gonna be sold for like, probably like 20k, 15k, but don't expect 100k plus anymore after this patch releases. So with that said, let's actually get into the second part of the video. All right, guys. So the second part of the video is actually gonna be talking about two dungeons. The other dungeons in the current expansion BFA are not worth doing when it comes to actually farming them in normal mode. And I do want to talk about Toll first. Now, Toll is actually going to be pretty cool too as well. There's
a cool thing to actually see in here. Now, Toll and Normal is very easy when it comes to actually doing the first room, and anything else beyond that. It's very simple. Like, especially if you're a eye level 400 plus. Me, myself, I'm 415, and I'm going to be honest with you right now, I had kind of not really a hard problem. It's just that I had to stay up with my health a lot, but my pet tanked a lot of it. Now, I do want to say right now, there is a rare that spawns in the first room, and that rare is only for a world quest. So when the world quest is up, you want to do this over and over again, because that world quest has a rare that gives you AP, plus it has a high chance of dropping epics and a few other things from it. I could really not find too much data on it, because, you know, no one does this, but the whole point is that when you're killing a rare over and over again, you have a high chance of getting epics compared to killing regular mobs. So you might want to do this if you want to just farm a epic. Now, I do want to say right now, if you did this on Mythic instead, if you had, like, say, another player who helped you, or another 2 players. Now, you could do it probably with another player instead of just, you know, one, like a tank and you, and that's it. And if you went in here in Mythic, if you killed the first boss, right, and you went past the first boss, and you went to a cell, and I could do a whole, you know, explanation how to do it, but that'll be for another video if you want to know how. There's a cell that you open, and you have a chance of getting a pet. This pet is called Filthy Slime. Filthy Slime is worth anywhere from 60k to 100k. It depends on where you're at. Now, I do want to say right now too as well, you could reset this. You could literally, if you didn't get the pet, go back out, reset, come back in, kill the first boss again, go in, and actually do it again. Now, you can skip all these mob packs just to, you know, by doing basically the whole water, or, you know, walk the water and so forth, just to make it faster. But hey, if you didn't know about this, let me know in the comments below. It's worth a lot of gold, to be honest with you, that pet. Not a lot of people are doing this because they're like, oh, I don't want to be in that mythic and all stuff. So if it's for you collectors out there, it's going to actually help you out too as well. So with that said, how much gold did I get on the normal mode just doing this first room? Now, the thing is, this is not going to be no, oh my god, you got so much gold. No, the whole point of a toll was actually getting that rare that comes up on the world quest, killing that rare over and over and over again, and seeing if you actually have a great chance to get some epics. Because honestly, like I said before, rares have a bigger chance than regular mobs to get epics. Now, in a 30-minute period, I got 8,000 to 10,000. Well, actually 14,000. Sorry, guys. And actually got 637 raw gold with a 296 linen with 3 deep sea satin. Now, I do want to say that raw gold is pretty awesome here. That means you're going to get about anywhere from 13 to 1,500 raw gold per hour, which is not bad, especially when you're actually going for this mob, this rare mob that's a world quest. So it's nothing spectacular, but I will say right now, if you come in here as a skinner, you're going to get a lot more. And also too as well, if you get better drops than I did and you get lucky, you're going to get a lot more. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about this dungeon. Let's go into the next dungeon. So this next dungeon is going to be Mother Lode. Y'all know what Mother Lode is. It's actually a pretty cool place, but it's kind of hectic when it comes to Mythic Plus. But I want to say in normal mode, it's pretty fun. Now, what you're really going to want to do is not do everything in this dungeon. You're going to want to do all the way up to the first boss. Now, you don't even want to do the second big packs. Now, you want to do the packs in the front, and you want to do all the bystanders because they have a chance to drop off gear too as well. I've got a lot of greens from them, and honestly too as well, I looked them up, and honestly, there's not that much data on a lot of this. And I think it's just because people are not expecting to do dungeons at this, you know, time of the expansion. But if you're level 400 plus, you can do this, especially if you're a tank or if you're someone who has a lot of a good pet that can actually just, you know, hold aggro. Like me, I'm a warlock, so I use a demo and I just wreck everything here. And yes, you have chances of getting, you know, wrecked yourself, which I have a couple of times, but just keep it up. You don't want to get too wrecked too much because, you know, your raw gold to basically your repairs are going to overcome. So you kind of want to stay into that, hey, let's run away, exit, so forth. Now, with that said, you want to kill the patrons. I said the patrons. The people who are actually just dancing. Very easy to kill. They have a high chance of dropping stuff. And there's another pack in a second pack, which I should be showing on the screen, which is gonna be them dancing. Kill those guys. Make sure no one gets in the max, and you'll be fine. Also, too, as well, if you want to do this on Mythic, or if you're actually not even on Mythic, you can do this on normal, guys. If you didn't know, you can get everything in engineering from normal, heroic, and Mythic. So if you want to skip everything, let's say you kill all these packs, skip the first boss, second boss. I think you can even skip the third boss. Yes, you can skip the third boss and head all the way up to the last boss. Kill the last boss and get the engineer stuff. You can do this over and over by yourself. The bosses are not hard at all. The bosses are simple as hell to do, especially if you're a high level. Me, like I said, I'm a 415, could be 417. So the higher level, the easier it is for you. Hey, what's up, my WoW mustachians, and welcome back to another WoW gold making video. Today, we're going to be covering 4 spots that are really amazing for raw gold making. So this is our top 4 raw gold spots. Alright guys, so basically first and foremost, I do want to say right now, this is all going to be soloable. So basically if you just are by yourself, you can do this. The whole point about this video and this channel is to make it where you can do it by yourself. Honestly, I don't really care for the 2 group stuff and everything, even though, yeah, you could get a lot more gold out of so forth. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is for you to do it yourself and actually get as much gold, if not more gold, than a group. And now let's get right into it. So first and foremost, I want to say this number 4 is just a pretty cool spot. Is in the current expansion. Is actually going to be a visual hill. Now I will say right now there's some goods and bads, which I'm going to be going for each one of them. The good thing about this is that it's going to give you anywhere from 2k to 3k raw gold an hour. And it's going to have fast respawns, current greens, and epics, meaning that these are our current expansion greens and epics, so they will sell a little bit more. And also, too, as well, Alliance gets help from the NPCs. Sorry, Horde, you do not get any help at all. With that said, it's actually a good linen farm, and honestly, if you're a linen and you want to actually collect linen while you're doing this, this is going to be a great spot for you. Now, the bad things. The bad thing is Horde, you don't get any help at all from the NPCs. They try to attack you. And on top of that, they don't drop anything. Also, too, as well, there is no mount drop here at all. So, basically, it's not the best spot, but it is an original spot that I found when the first, the expansion all started. Now, with that said, you might see other people questioning here, too, as well. So, be prepared for that. So, I don't know if this actually goes to aggro for Horde. Actually, it doesn't, because I'm doing here as a Horde player. It doesn't actually get you aggro as in PvP, so you don't have to worry about other players actually just, massacring you or killing you. Now, with that said, let's get on to number 3. Alright guys, so number 3 is actually going to be raids, and the reason why I put raids at number 3 is because it's more consistent and you can actually depend on this every week. Now, I do want to say there's a good and a big bad, so let's get into the good. So, first and foremost, I will say that it depends on how many raids you do. If you actually start at Catalysm and onward, you can get anywhere from 40k to 50k, but if you don't, you can get a little less than that. So, the less you can get is probably about 10k if you just did, like, Mr. Panda, or if you just did WOD. Now, let's actually get into all the good. The good is going to be a lot of raw gold and the chances of mounts and pets. Now, the mounts and pets can sell in the auction house, but we're not here for that. Also, too, as well, it's going to be very fast because your level is very high, and honestly, you can just wreck everything up to WOD. Now, I do want to say right now, too, as well, that Legion is not included in this because it is not basically an old raid, meaning that it still was only going to give you 1 item per boss. Now, once the next expansion comes out, that will actually change. Now, I do want to say too as well that nobody can bother you while you're doing this. So literally, you can go in there and say, ha ha ha, you can't get my mob, I can get all this and all stuff, and you don't have to worry about anybody. That's a big plus to me, and I don't know about anybody else, but that's always been something I enjoyed because sometimes I like to play by myself and don't have to worry about another player. Now, I do want to say right now, there's one big bad, and this is the biggest bad of all of it, is that it's once a week, guys. So you're actually just basically WOD blocked, or just raid blocked, and you actually can't do this more than once unless you have other tunes, which is not hard in this day and age. Then you can get a tune out of the 110 or just buy that. Now, with that said, let's move on to number 2. Alright guys, and that number 2 is going to be a Legion spot called Island of the Watchers. This is something I showed you a while back, and honestly, it's probably the top out of all these to get raw gold an hour, but I will say, compared to number 1, it's not consistent because you could have people come here and so forth and everything, which we're going to cover. I don't want to go into the, off the script or off the thing. I don't really have a script, guys. I'm that skater kid who goes, oh, I don't need to listen to you. I am cool. But anyways, the good thing about this is that you're going to actually have a fast respawn. It's just going to be great. But easy kills due to, past expansion. Also, too, as well, you won't see a lot of people, if you're lucky. And honestly, too, as well, the good green drops. Like, they drop a lot of green and so forth. But there's bads. The 3 bads, and the reason why I didn't make number 1 is, first off, the greens do not sell on auction house. Like, literally, most of the greens, you're going to just basically either disenchant them, or you're actually going to sell it to a vendor to make the gold that's 4 to 5k, which they're worth a lot, but it's just not worth a lot on auction house. Also, too, as well, the respawn is glitchy sometimes. Like, you literally can kill everything here, and you're like, where is this coming from? He lied to me. But honestly, you can just go leave the little phase area, come back in, and boom, they're back. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen. Also, too, as well, there could be a person here, and if there's a person here, this just messes up your flow. So it's like, it's good. It's better than other ones I actually mentioned, because you could sit here and make that much an hour and keep doing this over and over and over, and compared to, like, raid and so forth. But you do have that chance of someone say, hey, I saw this video, man. I'm going over here and doing myself. Hey, what are you doing there? Like an old man on the lawn, the kids on the lawn. You're like, get off my lawn. But anyways, the point is, guys, it's a great spot, but it's not the top. Let's get into the number 1 spot. In at number 1, a lot of y'all should have known this, and a lot of y'all probably don't know this, is Iron Docks. And I'm going to say this over and over until it gets into your little head or your big head or whatever your kind of head you got, that Iron Docks is the best in the game at the moment for raw gold. If you do not want to sell the stuff on an auction house, which is fine because I think some of these are inflated, whatever it is. But anyways, the point is that I'm trying to say right now is that in an hour, you can get anywhere from 3,844 raw gold to 4,511 raw gold. And that's me being a slow ass, basically. You can go in there and be, oh, I'm a ninja, blah, 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 and go out and get this done within a 35-minute period. Yeah, you'll get locked out, but you can get this actually shorter. And you can go do one of the spots I showed you, and boom, come back, so forth, so forth. The point is that this spot is legitly a great spot. And the auction house stuff, they do sell a lot. Yeah, you say, oh man, in 30 minutes I got 100,000, 200,000 gold, which can be inflated. And I'm going to be right now that sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. They do sell still. But we're here for raw gold. So with the raw gold aspect, guys, selling the green, selling everything you got, 4,511 gold in 1 hour is just plainly amazing. You cannot beat that, because the reason why I say you can't beat that is because this is consistent. You do not have to worry about other players. It automatically raw gold that goes to you. You do not have to worry about selling an auction house. So if you're a raw gold person, you're like, I want that gold. Let me have the gold. You're going to come here and do this spot. This is the spot you're going to want to do forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But anyways, the point is, if you put time in it, you can make a WoW token in about a week and a half. But that's if you don't, if you just do like an hour a day, or if you do, actually an hour a day. If you do like about an hour a day, and you probably make a WoW token in a week and a half, there's no reason not to get a WoW token just by doing this, So if you fell and you're like, man, I only got 2 weeks left, just do an hour a day of this, and boom, you got a WoW token. Or if you have more time on your hands, boom, keep doing this over and over again, and you get WoW tokens, eventually, like tons of them. But point is, guys, I just try to show you the best spots of raw gold that are my spots. If you have other spots, let me know in the comments below. Remember, if you're going to tell me about 2 group farms and this and that, no, I don't really care. I don't care. This is the whole point, was about a single player going and doing and getting their gold, getting their moolah, getting their cash cow, so forth. Well, with that said, guys, we got a lot of videos coming out this weekend. We'll actually have a winner for that WoW token. So let's get right into what we're doing today. What we're going to do today, guys, is learn some stuff. Yeah, guys, we're going to be learning some stuff. Now, that said, guys, let's get into the first thing we're going to be talking about, and that is going to be the first dungeon, Herbalism. Now, the thing is, we're going to go over 3 things, and Herbalism is the first one. Now, this is going to be a prime example of what you need to watch out for. The average person who goes into dungeons doesn't know all the aspects of a dungeon. They go in there, farm it, just like the YouTuber says, so forth and everything. And they're like, hey, I got this much, or hey, I didn't get this much, blah, 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 without actually looking at what you got to do. And some YouTubers are in fault to it as well. Most YouTubers are. But they don't tell you, hey, you got to do this, or hey, you got to do that, which I want to be better at, okay? So with Bloom, if you didn't know Herbalism sucks at normal. And the reason why it sucks at normal is one aspect. If you go on normal Herbalism, you're going to notice that you cannot loot any of the flowers, which is a big no-no, because those things drop a lot of greens. So now, if you do mythic farming, instead of actually killing all the bosses, you just go in there and kill everything except for the bosses, you're going to notice that you can actually, loot the flowers. Even in heroic mode, loot the flowers. Now, just like, they told him Walking Dead, smell the flowers, look at the flowers. But anyways, the point is that you go in there, you loot everything you kill in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Herbalism is not the best in the world, but I'm trying to get to the point across. The point across is actually, you got to pay attention to what kind of dungeons you're doing, what kind of mode you need to do it in. Some dungeons requires you to do it in the mythic to get more gear out of it, like Iron Docks. Even Shadow, not Shadow Valley, is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. Whatever, Shadow Moon, the Shadow Moon place, you start with Alliance in the WoD. But anyways, the point is that you got to understand that some dungeons have these things that these bars around it that you have to go past. So with that, Herbalism, you really need to do it in a mythic, and if you're going to do it, like I said, you're going to get 2,197 raw gold, and as you can see, it's broken down in all the columns. Still not worth it, guys. I'm just letting y'all know that this is something you got to do, okay? You got to pay attention to those dungeons. Now, let's move on to one of the best dungeons I've seen in-game, and the best spot for raw gold. Now, if you're still with us and everything, you're going to notice that I'm going to say this word a lot wrong, and this is actually Arkmandoon, I think? Arkmandoon, I think. Let me know in the comments below what I said. If you've been on my channel for so long, I pronounce everything wrong. I really do. Now, I do want to say right now, Arkham Dude is so good when it comes to raw gold. As you can see right here, I'm going to show you, we'll break it down. First off, I got 349,451 auction house gold, which is hilarious because no guys, like seriously, even when I went to Iron Docks, when I told y'all, hey, there's a lot of auction house gold here, I even told y'all that, you know, you're going to get 200,000. Yeah, right. It's going to be like 40,000 maybe at the most, 50,000. You're going to have that, you know, you're going to 3/4 that, so forth. I've told you this many of times. So please, if anybody says, hey guys, this is inflated all the way to 110%. Hong Kong, I mean, if you know what I'm talking about. What's called, I never said, me personally myself, I never said, like, you know, oh yeah, the Iron Docks is the best in the world, you know, when it comes to auction house gold. No, I even stated it. It's just like the, there was that Starling, I think it's a mountain range that used to be in WoW that people would go to in an hour. You get 100k an hour for T-Mog farm. That was overflated. Same shit, you know? Excuse my language. I have a potty mouth. Sorry about that, guys. But it was, alright, so let's get into the whole point of this. As you can see, you got 1,059 raw gold looted, 672 trash raw gold, 71 blues, which is a freaking amazing. You're getting 71 blues that you sell the vendor, 2,396 raw gold, 25 greens, which is 497 raw gold, which you could probably get more greens if you're faster than me, 4,624 freaking raw gold. I'm going to tell you right now, it is hard to come by raw gold like this, okay? Iron Docks is probably equal with it when it comes to raw gold, but you don't have to go too far when you're doing this in this place. This place is just freaking amazing, and this is on normal. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is something that, if you're still with us, this is something that you need to actually put in your head when you're doing these farms for raw gold, okay? First off, you go in there, you're like, I'm going to do this hour thing, but first, I'm going to do heroic. Second, I'm going to do a mythic. Then boom, let's do the normal farms. Because you know why? You got to understand that if you do your mythic and your normal, you do your normal, not your normal, but if you do your heroic, that was a slaughter right there, right? If you do actually heroic every day, obviously you're going to get, you know, the more gold in heroic than normal. You'll do one a day. Then you're actually going to do mythic every week. It's going to give you a lot more gold. But not a lot more gold in an hour on the normal run, but you get extra gold when you're doing these farms. Now, I didn't add that at all to this, okay? It's just normal. That's all it is. Been normal the whole time. So this is how you're gonna, how much you're gonna get from normal here. I think it's pretty amazing. And honestly, I had fun doing this. It was really fun. So I could probably do 10 hours of this and get like 40k to 50k just doing that, and get like millions of gold of auction house gold. Like literally, it's kind of ridiculous. I do understand it's inflated, but you know what? I don't think anybody said that it was actually, you know, this is how much auction house gold you're gonna get. I mean, people make assumptions, you know. But anyways, alright, so let's get into the last part of the video. And the last part of this video is gonna be simple. Is a dog farm that I showed you that you actually skin. This dog farm that I showed you, it was pretty amazing back in the day. And I thought, hey, these people, some people are saying, hey, it's crap now. It's no good, Komlit. So I go check, and you know what? It's still good. It's really still good. I'm getting like let me check my results in about 10 minutes actually. Let me see. No, 10 minutes. Yeah, 200 coarse leather. Got 5,365 auction house value gold. No raw gold because they don't drop raw gold at all. 72 bloodstained bones, rank 2 because I never ranked it up to 3. I'm a dumbass. But anyways, that with 41 stringy loins and 45 tempest hide and 2 greens. That's not bad at all. It's still not bad. Just imagine if you did that in an hour. You're getting about what, 1,200 coarse leather. If you need that much coarse leather, I don't know why you need to go farm that much. But still, the point is that you're gonna kill a lot of dogs, and you're not gonna make. You're gonna make. What is it? What is it? The animal rights people. They're gonna get mad. They're gonna get really, really mad. Save the dogs. But anyways, guys,
Got into it. And at number 10 is gonna be Maul. Maul is gonna be 182 raw gold with 42,762 auction house gold. With my first run, I had nothing that dropped for me that was worthwhile, so there's no notable items for the auction house. With raw gold, seen as old dungeon, it's not going to bring you that much raw gold. So let's get into number 9. And at number 9 is going to be Karazhan. Karazhan gave me 36,474 auction house gold with 972 raw gold. I did a 10-hour farm in the past. Check it out in the description. And I got the Oathkeeper,
Pattern of Netherdrake Gloves, Leggings of the Beast Mastery, and Blade of Wizardry. Sadly, this time I didn't get none of those, and honestly, I'm kind of let down with the hour run that I did here. Now, don't get me wrong, the last one on the number 10 was Dire Maul, and there's so many other good drops that could have dropped, but again, in this video, we're actually just talking about what we got in that hour run. So let's actually get into number 8. And at number 8 is going to be something that I really don't like to do, and that is going to be Heart of Fear. And the reason why I don't like to do Heart of Fear is because you can get the run done within 30 minutes, and then you're locked out for the next 30 minutes as well. Now, that said, a lot of people don't have tons of tunes or tons of accounts to actually just rerun this. So basically, let's just go off of one person, and you're actually going to get 8,149 auction house gold with 1,393 raw gold, which is good, but I will say right now, honestly, it's not really worth it. I mean, you do get 92 motes of harmony, but again, that goes into the auction house price. But I will say right now, this is something that if you really want to just do something else, then do it. It's not the best in the world. It's not even close to being a top tier. And honestly, if this was a top 10 list, this would probably be number 10. The only reason why it made to number 8, if we're putting it in a top tier thing, is because it is raw gold value. With that said, guys, let's move on to number 7. And at number 7 is going to be Sunwell. Sunwell actually gave me a great 87,147 auction house gold with 483 raw gold. There's some notable items here that you can see right here, which I'll post just a little box of lists. Now, I do want to say also to it as well, this raid has been actually farmed over and over again, and honestly, unlike last time when I did a 10-hour farm a while back for y'all guys, the prices went down a lot. These would actually be probably a total of 150 to 200k in a day. Now, I do want to say that you got to note that everything that gets farmed over and over again will decrease in price over time. Also, too, as well, if you notice in the video, I actually am a warlock, and the warlocks are the easiest to actually get out of this dungeon faster than anybody else. But use the old trick that I showed you before, and that old trick is basically starting a group and leaving that group, and boom, you're going to be out within a minute, compared to about a minute 15 to minute 20 to actually get out of this dungeon. Now, don't get me wrong, there's faster classes to get out, but that's for another video. So with that said, let's get on to number 6. And at number 6 is going to be AQ20. I got a total 90,398 auction house gold with 123 raw gold. I will say that the item that dropped was Orb of Deception, and that was an awesome item that dropped. Now, I was going to use this or actually sell this, but I'm going to be honest with you right now. I'm going to give it to one of y'all. Y'all got to make a horde character on Morganus, and you got to tell me what your favorite farm is in my whole channel that you liked of my video, or tell me what you actually like about my channel. Well, that said, guys, let's get into number 5. And at number 5 is actually going to be Razorfin Downs. Razorfin Downs give me 140,509 auction house gold with 355 raw gold. As always, the old dungeons don't give you that much raw gold. Now, I did get a notable item, Dotcast Boots, and actually was very excited when I got this because this is a rare drop. Now, I do want to say right now that there was a lot of rare drops that come in Razorfin Downs, not repetitive drops like some other dungeons and raids out there. Now, with that said, let's actually get into the number 4. Alright guys, and that number 4 is going to be its sister, brother, or cousin, or whatever you want to put it, is Razorfin Crawl. Razorfin Crawl is actually going to give me about 163,649 auction house gold with 772 raw gold. Some of the notable items that dropped was Pathfinder Foot Pads of the Fire Flash, Watcher's Jerkin of the Aura, and also Headhunter's Armor of the Aura. And there's another one, but I just don't want to massacre his name, but it was a pretty good drop too as well. Again, these are rare drops that drop from this dungeon just as the other dungeon, and it's going to get you a lot more gold compared to some other dungeons and raids that drop the constant of the same item. Now, with that said, let's get on to number 3. Alright guys, before we get into number 3, it's actually going to be the code word, and the code word is actually going to be Gold Genius. With that said, let's get into number 3. These next top 3 is actually going to be towards raw gold more than auction house's value. So let's get right into number 3. So number 3 is going to give me 2,897 raw gold with 91,671 auction house gold. I could go on with how many items it gave me that is worthwhile here, like all the basically the life, earth, fire, water, pilot ore, so forth and everything. But there's a lot of the stuff that drops here. Just make sure that you're using a potion that gives you the boxes. And I'm going to be honest with you right now, when I did the whole run, I got a total of 111 boxes. So you really want to get the potion of treasure finding, and you'll be fine when you come in here, and you'll get about 111 to about 100 boxes that drop from here. Which, if you didn't know what the boxes were, they actually give you imbecile, they give you lives, airs, earths, fires, waters, so forth, and so many other things. With that said, guys, if you actually do this, let me know in the comments below. But that is number 3, because the next 2 are way better when it comes to raw gold. So let's get into number 2. Before we get to number 2, which you're seeing on screen already, I will say that in the Firelands, the boxes that actually you will open, you get gold 2 as well. You get anywhere from 1 to 5 gold, and I did add that in the total raw gold. So that is the total raw gold of Firelands. So to anybody out there who's actually all go Firelands the best in the world, that's the total you get. So with number 2, we're actually going to be going to Iron Docks. Usually it would be number 1 for Iron Docks, but I'm going to tell you right now, again, this wasn't a top 10 list. I'm acting like it's a top 10 list, right guys? But anyways, the whole point about Iron Docks is that it's fast, it's easy, and you can get out real quick. Within an hour, I got 3,666 raw gold. That is 1,000 over, not even 1,000, but about 800 over Firelands just by itself. So with that said, you actually get some of the auction house stuff, which is 193,795 auction house gold. I'm telling you right now, guys, do not take that as serious. They've been inflated so much that it's crazy. Some items will sell, some of the blues and epics, so forth, that you can get here to sell on auction house, but mainly a lot of stuff will not sell. So just add it all to your raw gold instead. Now, with that said, let's actually get into number 1. All right, guys, and at number 1 is going to be Arkandun. Arkandun is one of the best spots out there to actually do raw gold. Like I said, one of the best, not the best in the world. And I will say right now that it gets you about 3,764 raw gold with a total of 167,091 actually auction house gold. Now with that raw gold, you get... Hey, what's up my WoW mustachians, and welcome back to another WoW Go Making video. First and foremost, I want to say this is a new series called Throwback Friday. This is where we take a farm that we did or a farm in the community and see if the hand of time actually did good for it or did bad for it. Now with that said, let's get into this spot. So the spot today we're going to be covering is on Island of Thunder. I did this 5 to 6 months ago and I actually had a 30-minute period. Today we're doing it at an hour period. So with that said, let's get right into it. So for first and foremost, I do want to say that we're going to be going under Mine Journal for EU and US at mid prices. This is mid prices upon all servers, and we're going to be covering the loot appraiser too as well. So for those out there who say that this is inflated, please go contact Undermine and tell them that all their prices are inflated. So let's get right into it. So at 103,964 auction house gold for loot appraiser, that's pretty amazing. At 983 raw gold, 6 ghost iron lock boxes, 59 moat of harmonies, 60 greens, and 200 of the cloth. Now the notable items are going to be listed here, and also too as well 95,413.30 gold for the US mid prices and 96,415.55 gold for the EU mid prices. This is plainly amazing, and I'm going to say right now that I give it a 4 out of 1 of 5 mustaches. The reason why I gave it a 4, and I'm going to be honest with y'all guys, is because there is a little bit better spots than this that I'm going to be showing on Throwback Fridays and a few other videos. Now I do want to say right now too as well that the auction house value actually lowered just a little bit, not too much. So the hand of time is starting to eat out of it, even though it's been only 5-6 months. So with that said, I do want to say right now that the T-Mog here is just smexy. Like I said before, you're going to be selling this T-Mog to people who really want it because it looks really gorgeous. So with that said, guys, I do want to talk about a few other things in the future, okay? So we're going to actually have videos every other day. If you like that, let me know in the comments below.
So let's get into what this spot does. This spot is actually going to be in the Horde City, and anybody can do it, even Alliance. But Alliance, you'll have a hard time getting through because Horde is going to want to kill you. So with that said, let's get into what we got. So we're going to get 9 greens, which equals 395 raw gold. We had no notable trash drop, but the trash is actually going to be 730 gold, and that's including the raw gold. Now we're going to have 235 Tide Spray, which equals 23 bracers, which comes out to 18 greens, which equals 360 gold, with 5 blues, which is 120, which equals a total of 430 raw gold after you subtract the 50 gold for thread, which a total of 1,555 raw gold an hour with trash, greens, raw, and craft, which is not bad. And honestly, I'm gonna say right now, there was other things that dropped, but that's actually auction house gold, and we're not gonna be adding that here. It's gonna be in the gold guide. Like I said, I'm making a big gold guide, and it's gonna have tons of stuff in it. So this will be parted somewhere in the pages. So check that out, guys, when you have a chance. So with that said, let's actually get into the pros and cons. The pros is that it's current content, not hard to kill. No one comes here, which is funny because it is in the Horde City. Respawn is quick. If you decide to take skinning instead of actually something else, like say jewel crafting, which I have, and you skin and you do this, you can actually just get a lot of skinning. Again, auction house. But if you actually take skinning and tailoring, and not skinning and tailoring, but skinning and leatherworking, you can actually make some bracers, make some gear out of that too as well. But to be honest with you, the most profitable is going to be going with basically cloth, you know, tailoring and so forth. Now with that said, I will say right now, the cons, the big cons here is low raw gold, can't AFK, and to be honest with you, greens are duped here. So if you're expecting to get a lot of greens here to sell on the market that are actually one of a kind, you're not going to find that here, because a lot of them actually dropped that were just the same or just the name is different and so forth. So with that said, let's get into number 4. And at number 4 is going to be the old Seawell. It's going to be right next to the last one that we just showed you. It's going to be 10 greens, which equals 447 raw gold. It's going to be notable trash. It's going to be Ivory Tusk, which we got 5 of them, which was 86 gold, which from trash and gold, which including the Ivory Tusk, is 751 gold. Now, we got 233 Tide Spray, which is 23 bracers, which is 20 greens. We got is 400 gold, 3 blues, 72 gold, with a total of 472 gold, but minus the 50 for thread, which is a total of 422. It's funny because we almost got the same Tide Spray as the last one. But that said, we got more of the other stuff that drops, but we're not going to be talking about that again. Like the last one, I'm not going to repeat myself. Go check it out in the gold guide. Now, I do want to say right now too as well that we got a total of 1,640 raw gold with everything added up, which is a little bit more than the last one, and honestly, we're getting higher. So with that said, let's actually get into the pros and cons. So the pros is current content, not hard to kill, respawn very quick and in the city, which is a good thing because, again, these post spots were actually in the city, and they were going to respawn fast because there's always players around. So with that said, cons, low gold rate. And to be honest with you can't AFK. I mean, you can if you have 2 groups, but we're not doing a 2-group farm right here. So with that said, you can actually get greens that are duped here too as well. With that said, let's get on to number 3. Alright guys, so this next spot is going to be Bloodgate. It's going to be located here, and to be honest with you, it's going to give me 13 greens with 606 raw gold. Now, notable trash is none, but from trash and just gold drop from the mobs is going to be 942 raw gold. Now, that said, we're going to get 303 Tide Spray, which with bracers, we're going to be 30, which is 21 greens, is 420 gold. 9 blues, which is 216 gold, which equals 636 raw gold. But I will say right now, you got to minus that 72 for thread, which is 536 raw gold, with a total of 2,084 raw gold with a whole hour run. I am actually very excited for this because we are moving up very fast, and honestly, this is so cool. I love these spots that I've done, and honestly, if you like it, let me know in the comments below because the code word is king. Now with that said, let's actually get into the next thing. We have others that dropped, and I do want to say it was 51 deep sea satin, which is really good for an hour, and I do want to say that we're not going to go over the auction house. So with that said, let's actually get into the pros and the cons. So pros is going to be current content. It's not hard to kill, respawn is very quick, no one here, phase a few times an hour, which is good because if you actually loot and don't just wait there, which is going to go in the con later on, what's called, you can actually get a lot of stuff, and even more than I got if you actually have a good RNG. Now with that said, it beats most raids. At this point, we're actually beating raids that are about 3/4 of all the raids in the game, and I do want to say right now too as well, it is soloable. Now there's cons, very big cons, which I mean, it doesn't outweigh the pros though. Now with that said, where you must be a tailor to get the most out of this, like I said at the beginning of the video, you're going to want to have those buffs. They actually help a lot. You're going to actually can't AFK here. Like literally, if you want to AFK here, you might want to 2-group this, which I think this would be a massive, amazing 2-group farm, to be honest with you, because they respawn so fast. Now, with that said, will I say it hyper spawns? Yes, it does if you actually get 2 groups. Now, with that said, when the phase happens, this is a big con, which actually equals to the, the phasing in the pros, is that if it phases and you didn't loot stuff, you're actually going to be out of luck and you can't get those items that you could have gotten and so forth. So with that said, guys, let's actually move on to number 2. And at number 2 is going to be Shimmer Shade Garden, which is located in Suamar in a Legion content. Yes, we're moving from BFA, guys, and we're going to actually go over these. Now, I do want to say right now, we're going to get 24 greens, which equals 520 gold. No notable trash. We're actually going to be getting from trash and raw gold 1,252 raw. So with that said, we got 443 Shaldaraj Silk with 24 of the shoulder blades to make, which is 22 blues and 2 epics. With 22 blues, we got 550 gold, and with 2 epics, we got 68 gold with a total of 618 raw gold. And if you add that all up, we got 2,390 raw gold in an hour, which is not bad at all, guys. I actually was very excited when I got this much in a Legion farm. Now, I do want to say right now too as well, you got a 730 ancient mana. It's not really going to help you out with anything, honestly. Just a withered training, and to be honest with you, there's not that much gold in that. So with that said, I will say right now, when they're pros, it's not hard to kill, instant respawn, because really they do instant respawn if you actually stay in one spot. Beats most raids, actually. It beats probably 95% of the raids out there, and it's solo and rare items. And when I mean rare items, there's some grays that drop that are 100 to 150 raw gold by itself, but they're rare to drop. So with that said, there is cons. Just 1 foot off the ground when you're flying and you pulled everything, they not respawn, but they actually reset. And then some people
people here. Now, the thing is about the con of some people here, yes, there's some people here, but to be honest with you, a lot of people don't have flying. And if you have flying, you have the edge compared to everybody else. So let's get on to number one. And at number one is going to be the Jeweled Estate in Suma City. It's not that far from the last spot, so let's get right into it. So with 30 greens, we're going to get 680 gold. There was no notable trash. From trash and gold pickup, we got 1,949 raw gold. We got 643 Chaldra Rice silk, which made 35 of the shoulders. We got 27 blues, which is 675 raw gold. 8 epics, which is 272 raw gold. And again, like last time, which I didn't say, guys, but you do not need any other materials to make these shoulders, so you don't have to subtract anything, which is a total of 947 raw gold. Now, with that said, we got a total raw gold of 3,576, which beats every single raid out there to this date. It takes an hour to do Siege, and that only gives you 3,200, which is not that bad, don't get me wrong. But it does not beat the Jeweled Estate. The Jeweled Estate beats it by a long shot because you can do it as many times as you want and you're not catered to a lockout. Now, with that said, let's get into the pros and cons. So the pros is actually going to be this, okay? The pros is not hard to actually kill, instant respawns, beats every raid, and is soloable. And to be honest with you, there's rare items that drop that can actually go for a lot more than compared to the greens. Now, I do want to say the cons. Just 1 foot off the ground will make the mobs reset. That is just crazy, and I hate it because it just...
My WoW Mustachians, and welcome back to another WoW gold making video. Today is going to be a big time raw gold making video, and this is going to be something that I think each and one of you should do if you want a for sure 60 to 70k plus every week. Now, I do want to say right now, it will cost you a little bit of time, but it's not going to be as much time as other things. Now, I do want to say too as well, we will be putting in auction house gold in here, but it's not just going to be part of the main video. It's just going to be for some kicks, just to see how much auction house gold you get through all your ventures. Now, I do want to say right now, this is something that my patrons will be able to see in full more detail. This is the first page that I'm going to be showing, just to let y'all guys know what's coming to my gold guide. So let's get right into it. So as you can see, we are on 0 to gold cap, raw gold edition page. We'll be covering dungeons and raids that includes time, epics, blues, greens, trash, gold, total raw gold, total auction house gold, just for kicks. And this is not an auction house gold guide. It's actually a raw gold guide, but we will be including the total auction house gold. There will be a code word in this video. If you comment with that said code word, you can actually get a chance to win a WoW token next week. Also too as well, if you checked out the last 2 videos before this video, actually before the last video, there is actually a code word you can put in those videos and you have a chance to win for this Friday. Friday, it will be an announcement of the winner of last week. You got until tomorrow. So I do want to say right now too as well, the video has to hit 500 views. If it doesn't and you're not a sub, it doesn't happen because I want to give back to my subs and to the supporters, not just some person who comes and just say, oh, I'm just going to do this and boom, go. No, I actually like to reward my subscribers. All right, with that said, we do have a Patreon. If you check out my Patreon, you actually get these pages faster in the near future. And honestly, it helps us out and do more WoW gold making videos. Well, enough for my rambling, guys. Let's get into the video. Now, I do want to say right now that we're going to be covering just the total. You can actually check this out later on when the full page comes out. This is an example page. This is not a full page. This is just an example. So I will say right now that we did everything in the WoD dungeons. We did heroic and mythic. Mythic can only be done once a week. Heroic can only be actually be done once a day for all week. I do want to say we did 7 days. We did all 7 days, and we did all the way from Shadow Moon Barrel all the way to the Upper Blackrock Spire. For all the dungeons, it's going to be 7 hours and 17 minutes and 21 seconds. With 100 epics, which is 4,203 gold. With 419 blues, which is 13,709 gold. 216 greens, which is 4,500 gold. 3,607 trash, which is 3,505 gold. With 9,380 gold that's just dropped, with a total raw gold with adding everything together is 35,297 gold, which is just plainly amazing, with 475,534 auction house gold, which again is just for kicks, and honestly it's probably way less for auction house, but we're not getting into that. But I will say right now, it took 7 hours for me to do it, and I did an hour a day for every day. So basically what's going to happen is that if you're faster than me, you could cut this in half. Just imagine if you did it on 2 tunes. You're already making 70,000, just like the video would say. But this is all based off of 1 tune. So if you're faster than me and you could do this double for 2 tunes, just go ahead and do it. You're going to be making about 70,000 just off of dungeons in a week. Now, if you go to WoD raids and miss the pan raids, this is going to add a lot more. Now, I did everything on WoD. from Hymo all the way to Black Rock. I did not do a Hellfire Cathedral because this is something that a lot of people can't do because of the first boss. You have to stop and so forth. And yes, I know you can do it, but the thing is that I didn't want to waste time for that. That will be in the full page though, okay? We will be adding that. We'll be adding more stuff to this gold guide as we go. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see other things added to this for raw gold to make your raw gold just do a max. Now, I do want to say right now, with a total of that plus looking for raid, we got in a week 1, we actually got 2 hours and 50 minutes and 6 seconds, 407 epics, which is 14,312, with a total of 0 blues because they do not drop blues, 2 greens. Again, this raid does not drop any greens at all. Like literally, you can kill everything and not get one green at all. And I got 73 gold out of that, and got 59 trash, which was again trash. 77 gold. We got 2,432 gold that just dropped from bosses, which is expected because they don't drop that much. And it was 16,894 raw gold altogether after you sell everything, which is 88,755 auction house gold. Now we went to Mr. Panda. Okay. We're going to add on to this, okay? Because the WOD is pretty decent. And like, again, you got about 16,894, which is not bad. Now, with Mr. Panda, we did every single raid. We did the Volts, we did Endless Spring, we did Siege, we did Heart of Fear, we did Throne, and Looking for Raid. It took us 3 hours and 23 minutes to do. And as you can see, zeros across because I said, again, I'm not going to add those because Throne of Thunder and Siege are just way too long, and when it comes to that, you gotta actually empty out your stuff, and I did not want to mess up week 1 for y'all, and I got a total of 16,837 gold, which it actually is under WOD, which makes WOD a little bit better. And actually, if you look at it, WOD is actually faster. Now, I will say it gave us 74,392 auction house gold. Now, with a total of all that, if you add it all together, it's going to take you 13 hours and 30 minutes and 27 seconds. This is all over a week. You don't have to do it all at once. I mean, if you want to kick it off at once, that's up to you. But you're going to get about 69,028 gold, and you're going to actually get 638,681 gold of auction house. Now, that raw gold is just plainly amazing. Again, you could turn that 13 hours into about 8 hours if you're faster than me. I honestly am not the fastest gold farmer in the world, and honestly, y'all can see that in some of my videos. But if you were like twice as fast as me, you could probably make that time within 2 characters, and you probably can get about a WoW token a week. If you actually maximize your time and find the best routes and do the best things you can do, you could get a WoW token a week. It literally is that easy, guys. I am so stoked about this that honestly, raw gold is just as good as any other gold making, okay? But it's not as like if you sit, it's obviously if you sit at a freaking auction house and flip, you're gonna make a lot of gold. But this is for people who don't want to do that, okay? If you add cat raids, you're going to actually get a total of 14 hours and 27 minutes and 27 seconds with a total of 872 gold with a total of 650,472 auction house gold. That is just plainly amazing when it comes to raw gold. And like I said, if you're faster than me, you're going to actually get that double. The max you could probably get is a WoW token a week, and the least you can get is probably what I just showed you. So if y'all like this, guys, if you think this is very interesting and you want to see a lot of other gold farms that are raw gold, because I got a lot coming out in the next coming weeks, let me know in the comments below. Your comments actually show that, you know, it's the support, and it actually shows you want more of it. But if you don't want more of it, let me know too as well. And you know, every feedback is just welcome. But I honestly think this is a great way to make raw gold, and actually a great way to make gold to get your WoW tokens and get to gold max. We will be doing a gold cap for this. We're going to continue this on and on. Even if it's not videos, we're going to give you updates and so forth. With that said, guys, let me know what you thought about this video. And like always, please like, subscribe, and comment, and stay stashy. And if you stayed it to the end of the video, the code word is format. I want to see what you thought about this format and what you thought about the video. Let me know in the comments below, and that will be the code word for this end of the video. So I'll see you in the next video. So my WoW Mustachians, and welcome back to another WoW gold making video. We're going to be showing you one of the best skinning spots in the game. And as you can tell, my bags are full of skinning materials. And this is actually going to be something that you do not know of. A lot of people know of the, the Fall Haven, and that one is actually just over farmed with other people. But this one is another pig spot, and honestly, I think it's one of the best, if not the best spots in the game. So let's get right into it. And as you can see, we have a farm group. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do this with a druid and get it all done yourself. You do not have to have anybody else. You can actually do this and hyper farm it by yourself. But I will say right now, it is actually best when you have a team because it's so much easier. But if you want to check out the solo, go check out the last video I did. It's is actually going to be the best spots to farm before 8.2. Now let's get right into the results. As in a 45-minute period, because we did not do a full hour, we got 2,656 course leather up to 3k if you did an hour, 1,714 blood bones up to 2k, 777 meaties up to 1k, 333 Tempest Hide up to 500, Calcified Bones 329 up to 500, 27 greens equals 1,192 raw gold, 2,000 raw gold, and I just went up to 2,000 because it was more than that, but let's just give 2,000. With a total raw gold, if you make the coarse leather arm guards, is going to be 8,570 just for the arm guards, plus the 2,000 plus the 1,192 equals 11,762 raw gold, up to 13,192 raw gold an hour if you actually make the hour run. I'm going to say right now, this is just plainly amazing. If you're the druid by yourself, or if you're some class that can pull everything in the area by yourself, do it. Hey, what's up, my mustaches, and welcome back to another WoW Go Make video. Today we're going to do a quick video of going over my old spot that I did for the ore that is new to the zone, and also as well, we're going to be going over a herbalism spot that you should be doing, because with the raid coming up, it's still going to be going in good price for herbalists. But I will say right now, everything is starting to go back to normal. And when I mean normal, I mean they're not going to be going for like 200 a an ore or 200 a herb. They're going to actually start decreasing, but you want to take advantage of this right now. So let's get right into it. So the spot I'm going to show you is actually my ore spot that I showed you last week when this first came out. I do want to say this is the best spot for ore in the zone right now. And honestly, I've checked out other places and nothing compares to this. What you're going to get in rank 3 is going to be just plainly amazing. It's going to be 256 ore in an hour with 110 of the new herb. I do want to say right now that you can get a lot more ore if you're not a noob like me. Again, I tell y'all guys all the time, I am not the best farmer in the world, but I know what I'm doing, but I still die a lot just because I'm not good. But anyways, the point is what I'm trying to tell you is that this spot is going to get you gold. Now, I know that the prices are going up and down depending on your server, and some servers are saying they're looking at 60 gold per ore. That is still not bad. A lot of people think that, oh my god, it's at 60 gold, I'm not going to make no gold at all. No, you're going to make gold. You just have to understand that, prices are going to settle, but then they're going to go back up. And when I mean go back up, I mean the herb is going to actually go back up because of the potions and flasks that are going to be needed in the next raid next week, which I'm very, very excited for. Now, I do want to say right now too as well, one of the main things you need to do to maximize your farming is this, okay? Make sure you have 2 sets of gear. That's going to be herbalism and mining. So basically what you're going to have is 2 sets of gloves. Those gloves are going to have mining and, of course, like I just said, herbalism and chant. Once you do that, you're going to go and you're going to see on your minimap, hey, that's a herb, so you want to switch it off with number 1 or whatever macro you set up. Then you're going to actually pick that herb. Then when you're out of combat or if you're not in combat, switch it back to mining and whatever you're going to be doing. So you can focus on both at the same time, because honestly, all these spots I'm going to show you are decent, but you know what? They're not the best in the world. And when I mean not the best in the world, I mean that compared to the other ore that's in the other zones of this expansion, it's lackluster, because you're not going to get 400 herbs per hour or 600 herbs per hour. That's just not going to work. Now, you're going to get about 320 an hour that I'm going to show you in the next spot. But the point is that when you want to be on top of your toes and you want to make that max gold that you can per route. So that's it, guys. That's what I want you to do. And also too as well, remember, do not forget to kill both types of algons. Even in the herbalism spot, kill them. And if you're both herb and mining, this is going to be great for you, because especially if you're mining, okay? When you kill these guys, even if they don't drop anything for you, which they, probably 50-50 they will, you can mine them and get up to 10 of the ore, which makes your ore farming a lot better. Now, they're not always going to be up, and they're always going to be in different spots and so forth. So it might, not be there, or it might be there, so forth. Don't depend on that to be your farm. But I will say that if you added that, I well got over 300 of the ore, but I didn't add it to the total. Now, with that said, guys, I will say right now, do not drop mining. A lot of people are saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to drop mining because, I'm not going to make no gold when it comes up to, raid time. That's bullcrap. And I'm going to tell you right now, what you need to do if you're going to be the underdog is to keep mining, right? And actually go buy as many as sages and as azarine as you can, especially if they're cheap right now on your server, because you'll be prepared for whenever the raid comes out and people get their abyssal focus all the way up to level 3, right? They're going to be able to make these rings. Think about it. You just need 40 of the explosum. You just need 45 of the azarine, 45 of the Sage, and 5 of the Leviathan Eyes. And it only takes at least one time. Like, for instance, you go inside the raid, right? Heroic raid. And what's going to happen is that you're going to actually be able to get the Abyssal in probably just the first raid that you do. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to take a little longer to get the Abyssal level 3. But the whole point is that you're actually going to be able to make these rings eventually sooner or later. And these people are going to want these rings. And you know why? Because there's not that many rings in the raid. Yes, there's some rings in there, but a lot of classes can't use the rings that are out there. So they're going to look at jewel crafting saying, man, I can go get a 440 ring with a socket, with stats. The only thing it's going to cost me is 45 Sage and 45 of the Red Gem and 5 of the Leviathan's Eyes and 40 of Explosive. And they're like, well, you know, I got a lot of gold. Let's go buy them. These things are going to go from 30k to 50k for a stack for 45. They're actually probably going to go more for that at the beginning because if 8.1.5, if you remember, the jewel crafting was going crazy. Well, for those 2 types of gems too as well that they had for the, you know, the equivalent, they were actually going for 30k a stack. Not a stack, but a 45 too as well. I think it was 45. Actually, let me look at it real quick. Actually, it was 30. I do apologize for that, guys. But anyways, it was actually 30 each, and they were going for 30k to 25k. That is crazy. So if I were you, this is just me, keep mining and you actually get these gems, save up. You might not make gold right now, but you will be banking it whenever the raids come out. So take that advice as it is, and honestly, I think you should be doing that right now. I do want to say too as well, when we did this farm that I was showing you for rank 3 of the ore, we got a total of 15,429 gold for the herb, and also 15,757 gold for EU. So, I mean, it's alright with that 110 that we got here, but, you know, it's not top bank. Now, I do want to say right now too as well, I did get a pet. It's called Murgle. You can actually get this guy on my route that I show you in the video of the mining. It's actually going to go for anywhere from 95,000 on US to 55,000 on EU. It depends on your server because I sold it already and it was 20 something thousand on my server. So, I mean, it all depends, okay? It can go low end to high end, but the more it's farmed, the less it's going to be. So, with that said, guys, let's move on to the herbalism part. So, before we get in this, there will be a code word and it is monster. So, let's get right into the rest of this. So, what I want to say right now, this is going to be a rank 3, obviously. And it's going to actually be a little bit, not too much that we're going to actually go into this, okay? But I will say right now that we will have at the end of the video a little bit short of me actually doing the whole spot without any conversation or anything like that. So stay tuned for that. There will be music into it, so I hope y'all do enjoy that. So let's actually get into it. So I want to say right now that this is going to give me about 231 of the herb in 1 hour. Now you're like, whoa, wait a minute. You said 320. I'm going to get to that. Now, I did get 112 of the ore too as well, which is not bad too as well. And then let's go over the prices. As you can see right here, this is going to be 23,074 gold for the US and 24,356 for the EU. Now, again, this is at the time of doing the farm. This is how much it was. So if it's lower or higher, I do apologize. I do want to say right now too as well, the ore, we got 10,452 gold and 2,848 on the EU. Now, I do want to say right now that this was on a busy time of the day. This is, I mean, there was people here, like tons. Now, this spot is probably well known, to be honest with you, and I could care less. The whole point is I'm trying to show you the best spots that you can do. I cannot turn away spots that are great, okay? So, this spot, at peak time, I got 231 of the herb, which tells you a lot of things, okay? First off, there's a lot of herb here. Second off is that this is at peak times. There's herbs that disappeared that I could not get because, you know, too many people did it. So I tried this again at nobody time, meaning that I was an AM. I got 325. That's just freaking plainly amazing. I honestly think that this is the best spot there is to actually go there. There is another spot that I can show you, but it's only 200 an hour, and it's at peak time and all that stuff. You can automatically get 200 an hour. Even with, you know, AM, you're still going to get 200 an hour. But I don't really want to show you that spot because it's not worth doing. You want to actually do this spot. So, guys, this is a spot. I hope you enjoyed this spot, and there's a lot of rares that go around here too as well. I'm going to show you the spot without me talking. So if you actually want to see more videos like this, if you just want me to be down to more earth like this, let me know in the comments below. I enjoy doing these videos. There's a lot of stuff coming out this week. We're going to actually go over old stuff tomorrow. I think tomorrow. It should be tomorrow, Tuesday. Tuesday's reset. So stay tuned for that. We also are going to do another video Wednesday, Thursday, and hopefully Friday. So with that said, guys, if you liked the video, please like, subscribe, comment, and as always, stay stashy. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to be covering is Black Wing Lair. Now this is something that everybody should know of already. If you want me to do a whole run with it and just let you know what you get, let me know in the comments below. But now, the thing is that if you're a hunter, this is something that you're going to be wanting to do, or used to want to do. So now, as Fridays would go when we do Throwback Fridays, which again is not a Friday, it's a Monday, but when we do it, we kind of see if it's actually still good, or if it's, not worth it. Now, with Black Wing Lair, it was a fickle matter. It really was. And the reason why I say that, there's a lot of things you can do here to make it worth it, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make it worth it anymore. Now, there's a location in Black Wing Lair that a lot of people like to go to and feint death, and they would actually reset the mobs. That has been nerfed. Actually, it's not nerfed, it's fixed. You cannot do it no more. You used to be able not to kill the captains, and boom, you feint, boom, they all respawn. That is actually fixed. So I hate to say it to people who wanted to farm this again, this is not going to be a good farm when it comes to that location. Now, there is some dragon guys here that you can actually kill 2 of them, and you can actually, feint. They reset, you skin them, you get some black wing dragon scales. Actually, it's just called black dragon scales. And these go for a pretty penny, as you can see on the screen. It's going to be US 8,798 for how much I got, and EU 4,814. Now, I could go through a whole video just telling you that, you're going to go to these other dungeons, you're going to go do this, and you're going to, get these recipes, and so forth. But if you want to see that in another video, let me know in the comments below. But we're just going to each of these raids, dungeons, so forth, to tell you if they're good or not. So if you want to see what you can make out of black dragon scales, let me know in the comments, and I will actually do a whole video showing you how to get the stuff for, leatherworking and so forth. And they go for a pretty penny, guys. Some of that stuff goes for 100k just to, using that. But let's get back on track. So the thing is that when I did just the whole run here, honestly, I got 22,762 gold with 274 raw. That was just farming these little guy dragons. They're not little, they're just basically these guys that, have big swords, try to whirl it at you. But if you kill 2 of them and you actually feint death, they reset. But other than that, nothing else resets. It's crap. I wish they didn't fix it. I guess it's just because they didn't mean that to happen, but it doesn't work anymore. And it's kind of sad to say that. I'm going to say right now, unless you really need black dragon scales, this is not worth it anymore. It is not worth it at all. Don't waste your time here. So, out. So let's get into the next place. The next place is actually going to go with the Black Wing Lair, and that's going to be Dire Maul. You're probably wondering, what do you mean does it go with it? Well, there's a pattern that drops from the last boss, which is not the last boss. You actually get some of the tributes. You actually get it from a box, is a recipe, which we're not going to go over, because again, you want me to do a whole video about it? I'll do it. But anyways, that tribute is actually worth 100,000 gold, but that's for another video. But I did Dire Maul Commons, which is the common area, not the main one that everybody loves to farm and overfarm. Did about an hour. 52,356 auction house gold with 90 raw gold. Raw gold is not going to be here because this is old content, but I do want to say right now that the auction house gold is still worth it. You're not going to get repeats for some reason, which is good. When I say for some reason, it's because it surprises me when you don't get repeats in a dungeon run, especially within an hour. And I honestly like this dungeon. It's really cool, and the fact that you can get a free chest at the end, and you're like, oh, is it going to give me the recipe? Pretty amazing. Like, it's crazy. But that said, let's move into the last one. It's going to be AQ20. Now, this is a big one. AQ20 has been one of the coolest things for everybody to go to because, excuse my French here, Slutmog. This is something that everybody loves to use, especially in role-playing, so forth and everything. And whenever, if they bring this to actually Classic, people are going to be like, oh, I want that, because there's not going to be the Transmog person in Classic. This is going to be going crazy. But that's if it gets to that far. Now, I do want to say right now, I did it with my hunter first, okay? I did 30 minutes with my hunter on just the generals. And to be honest with you, it's the same thing. You can actually feint death and they reset. Now, I will say, if you do that, you will actually be locked to this instance. That is something that is going to happen. So to be prepared for that, you're not going to be able to do AQ20 again after that. So I finished it up after I did that, and I did 30 minutes on my hunter. Then I did 30 minutes on my demon hunter. And I got a total of 41,389 gold with 403 raw, which to be honest with you, the item that actually dropped that was worthwhile was 11,489 gold, which was Ironhide lead guards. Now, I do want to say there's a lot of stuff that can drop here, and if you're lucky, you can get, a lot more. Now, you're probably wondering, why do I use the hunter for just that, second boss and reset him and so forth? Well, because these generals there do have a high drop chance of Slutmog. And I do want to say right now, too, as well, there is some worms in this dungeon, actually not dungeon, but raid, guys, that actually drops a lot of good Vanguard and so forth, but Not as much as the generals. If you look at the tables show that the generals drop a lot more. It might not seem like they're a lot more, but just if you look at it, the drop rate according to how many said about it, it's actually a lot more. But with that said, guys, let's move on to the last thing I want to talk about, and a few other things I want to talk about, but it's going to be current content. Now, I have a lot of tunes, guys. Y'all know I have a lot. I do a lot to make gold, and this week alone, I made 1 million gold. That's no joke. Yeah, everybody's saying Classics is great, Classic is back, and I'm glad. That's great, and that's good for us gold makers, because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people are not trying to do for that gold for, retail. So basically what I did everything I could to make gold. And then I decided, what if I wanted more gear for my ults? What if I teamed up with my brother and we actually went inside and did, mythic dungeons, heroic dungeons, so forth. And I said, let me try normal dungeons by myself. So I did. And boom, would you know it? I'm actually a demon hunter going into normal dungeons at 4:15 and just wrecking everything. And I'm like, this is great. And then I tried it with my warlock, and my warlock just smashes. It can do mythic by himself, or herself actually. So my whole point is that I did Hour and Toll. And Hour and Toll actually gave me 580 raw just by itself, with 1,203 raw with greens and 1,351 with blues. So if I sold everything, 1,351 with an auction house value of 19,699 gold. Now you're like, oh, this is crap. I don't care. That's crap to you, maybe. But if you have a service for someone, let's say someone said, I need some gear, man. I just got to 120. I'm actually, at 320, 310. I'm a demon hunter, and I want to get to that 400 real quick. You're a badass demon hunter. You go in that toll, and you're like, I can do this by myself. You take that guy with you, you just wreck everything, you give every single piece of gear for him, you say, that'll be 20,000 gold, sir. I mean, seriously, guys, like, I do understand that there is runs for people. Oh, we'll give you this much for, you mythic 15 for 150,000 WoW token. But think about it. There's a lot of people out there who needs gear fast, doesn't know where to go, and they're like, well, you know what? This guy is selling normal runs, mythic runs, heroic runs by himself, can get it done fast, so forth. And, literally, I can get that gear and be prepared. Like, for instance, me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my brother, because my brother's already going to be 120. He's going to actually get inside here. I'm going to wreck this place. He's going to get every single drop I get. So, I mean, I got a 395 Titan Forge, because you got to remember, the King Titan Forge is 455 too. You might like, well, that's a stretch. Yes, it is. But I got a trinket from 370 to 395, which was pretty amazing, because if he was with me at the time, he would have got a 395 trinket. So I just wanted to put it out there, because honestly, I'm going to say right now, if you can actually come in here and do this stuff, you can actually get your guys geared, you can get your friends geared, or whoever, or you can even sell a normal, heroic, and mythic runs. You're probably like again, you're probably like, well, there's mythic plus runs, so forth, yeah, but you can sell these for cheaper. You can, like, if you do this right, and if you go in there in an hour, you get as much as I said in toll, and you're charging people like, say, 20,000, 15,000 gold every run, you're looking at about 30,000 to 40,000 an hour. And the reason why you're looking at that much is because it takes about 30 minutes for me to actually run one run. Now, that's because I'm slow, and I'm gonna give it. I did not have demons on my bar, and I was just such a noob that I didn't even see that, and my rage wasn't going up. But the point is, getting off topic, is that if you can find buyers who want to do this can be profitable, and it's something to think about. And honestly, a lot of people would love just to sit there, loot, get items. So with that said, let me know in the comments below about that subject. Let's get into the last part of the video. I don't want to ruin this whole thing, because I actually enjoy doing this. So with that said, guys, if you stayed this long, the code word is corn nuts. Let's get right into the last part of the video. Alright, guys, so this next part of the video is just going to be the last part, and it's going to be a shout out to my fellow patrons, John and Catitude. Y'all guys are amazing. Thank you so much for actually becoming a tier, and also to as well respect some gifts in the future. John, your gift for August is ready. I do want to say right now, I will be getting with you in this week to give you that gift. Also to as well, Catitude, your September gift will be ready at the end of the month. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a Patreon, guys. It's in the description, and if you're seeing what I'm doing right here, I'm actually unlocking boxes. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was gonna do a video on this, but it's all random, so you might not get as much, or you might not get so forth. So you can't really say, oh well, per hour get this. No, you can't. It's something that you can't actually say this is the best farm for these, so forth. But anyways, off topic, I want to say right now that we have a Patreon, guys. This Patreon is actually something that helps me out do more videos. You gotta understand, if we don't do this, guys. You know, Patreon and all that stuff. I can't put more time into the videos. You're probably like, well, you know, why don't you just do it for fun? Well, I would love to if I actually had more time. But the more we get support on our channel, the more we actually get support on Patreon, it helps us a lot. It gives us more time to do stuff. I don't have to put more time in other things, and I can actually put out videos more. Now, 8.3 is going to come out faster than we think. And today we're going to go over a spot that I think you're going to love. I do want to say right now there's a big video coming out in the near future. It was supposed to be today, but I was having a couple of issues, so I couldn't actually get the finishing touches on it. So let's go over the spot. But before we go over the spot, let's actually hear from our sponsors. Have you felt poor? Have you felt out of place? Have you felt like people are making fun of you? If you have felt any of these, fear not. Sam Gold is at your service. I was once like you until I found Komlit. I used to play in taverns for gold, did things in the back of a tavern for gold too. Went by the name of Goldbutt, you might know me. But those days are gone now. Komlit has showed me many ways to farm gold. From dungeon running to farming spots, he has it all. So if you want to lay in riches like me, instead of laying with witches for pennies, check out Komlit. You won't regret it. For your health. Alright guys, so we're going to start off in Herbalism. This is actually the spot that I'm going to be showing you today. What you're going to do right now is start off on the docks. You're going to kill all the NPCs here, and you're actually going to go all the way up to here. I should have a whole map showing you what to do. It's going to be very simple. I do not want to waste your time. I do want to say right now, when you get to the second spot, you're going to be killing these orcs. These orcs here are very easy to kill. They're actually going to be tamers that are going to be respawning very fast. Now, unlike the dock you have to wait about 3 to 5 minutes for them to respawn. So this route that I'm showing right now, when you start off the docks and go all the way up to the mountains to kill the orcs instant respawn. Now, you won't be getting tons of greens. You're probably like, well, then what's the point of this spot? Actually, there's a lot of point to this spot. First off, in this spot, you can get stuff that ranges from 40k to 100k per drop. Now, the items that can drop from here are Fireman leggings and also too as well Vital Raiment. Now, Vital Raiment is actually what dropped for me. I do want to say right now that my side account got the Fireman leggings. Each one of these can go for 40k to 100k on servers. I do want to say too as well, I did it at 30 minutes. I didn't do an hour run. I got 72,009 gold, and I got 1.5k tries for the Sprite Darter Egg. Now, we're not going to get into the Darter Egg at all right now, but I do want to say that's something you can get here too as well. Now, with that said guys, this is a very simple farm. What you do is basically, like I said at the beginning, is go from the docks and all the way up to the mountains. Kill all the orcs about 2 to 3 minutes, if not the max of 5 minutes. Go back to docks and they spawn. Now I will say those NPCs at the docks actually have a great chance of dropping these things like Fireman and so forth, because they don't spawn all that often. So with that said guys, let me know in the comments below, will you be doing this spot? There will be a bigger video coming up in the near future, so if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, yes guys, I haven't forgot about the WoW token winner. It will be the next video. So that said guys, like always, stay stashy. Other than enjoying the route that I'm showing you for the rest of the video, I do want to say thank you so much to John and also to Catitude. I made you a little something out of my heart because you are badass Patreons. So this might actually screech some ears and hurt some people's feelings, but let's get right into it. I found a friend in Johnny, oh yeah. I found a friend in Catitude. That's all I got. But hey, I want to say, hey, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you became my Patreons. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us today. We're actually going to be showing you 2 spots in today's video. It's going to be a good deep dive into these spots. One of them has actually been shown on my channel. I will link in the description where the location is at. So let's get into it. But before we get into it, let's actually hear a message from our sponsors. Hi, this is John with the GFTP, also known as Gold for the Poor. This is Sam Gold. He used to work for the king. He used to be a great hero, had 15 kids, 3 wives, and also too as well a pet dog. But he lost everything in a ski accident. After he found Komlit, his life changed. But not everybody is like this who can find Komlit. So if you want to help other people like this, please subscribe, like, and comment, and enjoy your program for your health. Alright guys, welcome back to the deep dive video. So let's get right into it. So the first spot I done is actually a spot I showed you on my channel a while back. I was actually the first one to do this farm. Go check it out in the comment and in the description. There will be links there. Check it out and have some fun with it. You will know the location via that video. So let's get into it. So I do want to say right now that this spot is something that I think a few people know about already now, because I've seen a lot of traffic, and to be honest with you, before that there wasn't that much traffic here. And honestly, I think it's something to do with either A, some people saw my video and said, ooh, we're going to go and try this, and which I hope that's most likely what happened. Or B, someone did see my video and that's a YouTuber and they said, oh, you know what, I'm going to show my subscribers and say I found this spot. And you know, that's happened before a lot of times. But regardless how they found it, the whole point is that this spot is amazing for you. Because even with one toon, you're actually going to get this much, guys. And with another toon, you're going to get this much. As you can tell, the raw gold's above 5,000. And this is with just 2 toons and some other random person. We weren't pulling as fast as a group would pull. Now, I will say right now, the auction house gold is going to be anywhere from 100k to 90k. But you could get a lot more if you get better drops. Like, for instance, toon 2 got a actually epic drop, which was worth 39,265. Sold it for 21,000 on my server. You could check those prices out on weekly gold making, the road to gold cap. Check it out in the description and comment section. I'll have a link to as well to that. That is something I update every day because I want y'all to see that I can make the gold cap doing the way I do my stuff. With that said, I do want to say right now, we're going to be ending this spot right now, but I do want to point a few things out. First off, this is going to be better if you have more people. Second off, what's called, if you have a second account, let's say you don't have a group and you just want to be by yourself, go get a second account. Second account is easy to get, especially if you do all the gold stuff that I showed you in the previous videos, you know, from raids, dungeons, and everything. You could buy BFA by yourself. BFA is so cheap right now. It's $29.99. Comes out to $32.40 at the max. And to be honest with you, if you do 2 tokens and a half, which you're going to have to do 3 tokens, you could literally get BFA this month on a second account. Now, I will say right now, you don't have to level up anything. You can actually use a class trial for this. I've used a Holy Pally class trial. Not a Holy Pally, but it was actually a Ret Pally. Just standing there, getting the loot, and actually selling everything. Gave him 1,000 something just to the other guy. Now, that's crazy, right? You can actually do this. Now, I will say right now, eventually they will patch this where you can use class trials. There's a lot of class trial stuff that I want to show you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see some class trial tricks that can get you gold for your main and something that you want to do. With that said, guys, let's move on to the second spot. Let me actually know what you thought about the first spot. All right, guys, so this is the last spot I'm going to be showing. It's going to be a quick spot. I do want to go over a few things after this spot shown, but as you can see, I am running in tall. And you're like, what are you doing in here? This is a starting zone of 110 fresh, right? Well, first off, I will say, Horde, I'm sorry, but this is not for you. If you're a Horde player, you cannot do this. I will find a Horde thing for you, just for y'all can get some gold. I did find a Horde spot, which I'll show you in another video. And we'll do it, you know, maybe we'll do a flashback Friday for Horde. How about that? Let me know in the comments below if you want to. I do have a spot that is just for you guys, and you can get a lot of gold out of it. But as you can see, I'm running through tall. This spot is just plainly amazing. First off, you got to have 110, okay? You got to come into here. You skip the first scenario. Don't skip this part. I think you can't even skip this part anyways. Get the dungeon key. Get to level 2. Get past level 2. Get out of the whole prison. Don't go to the guy who gets you on the boat. Stay away from that. Kill every single beast monster that you can see on this zone, which you'll see. The whole point is that they instant respawn here, okay? First pack you kill, you go to the second pack, Getting to go to third pack, and then the first pack already respawns. It's just plainly amazing, guys. In 1 hour, I got 51,287 auction house gold. You still got a chance to get epics and other things. Also, too, as well, I got 3,754 raw gold if I sold all the greens and the trash. That's just plainly amazing for a new character. If you're a new character and want to make some gold, don't want to be bothered, this is the location. I am sorry, but there is a lot of other different spots that are pretty good, but this spot right here has not been seen. And honestly, I would say right now, as a new player, my brother's a new player, he liked the spot. Himself, he came in here and said, you know what, I'm going to do this. Because he didn't have a BFA character. And he's like, man, I can just, kill all these guys and get a lot. And if I had skinning, he said, I didn't have skinning. He would have actually had more gold. Now, I do want to say, too, as well, right now, that you need the Traveling Tundra mount. You need a mailbox, which would be pretty amazing. If you have a mailbox and a bank, I think it's Jeeves who is his bank, and also to a Traveling Tundra, you're set. You can stay here until 120 or beyond that if you want to. But that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this spot. Do you like this spot? Do you not like this spot? Hey, it's something I thought that was something new. That's something you could do by yourself. It's not going to be a full 100% guide for you because we're going to be covering that too. Also goes for raw gold. We're going to be covering raw gold. If raw gold is not for you, again, you're not going to get 100% out of this. We're going to be covering every aspect of gold making. We're going to actually get you to a WoW millionaire. Now, it's going to be hard to do this because it's not going to be overnight. Yes, guys, there's so many ways you can do this. There's so many ways you can actually make $1 million of gold and so forth. But we're going to be covering the basics in this video. So the basics is very, very simple, and I don't want to waste your time. And one of the biggest basic questions is this: why do you need the gold? What is your goal? To be honest with you, if you don't have that, if you just say, oh, well, I just want to make currency in this game because I'd make currency everywhere else, you're not going to have fun with it. Personally, me, I love just collecting and hoarding and have a lot of materials and be able to sell on the market. And honestly, I love just buying certain things that I could never buy when I first started. Now with that said guys, if yours is totally different, let me know in the comments below. That is the one question you gotta ask yourself. I can go on and say, you know, you can go and farm this and farm that, which is going to come in another video, but that is the question and a few other questions you need to ask yourself before you even get into farming, get into making raw gold or auction house gold. Now let's get into the other questions. Another big question you got to ask yourself, and this is something that I think a lot of people overlook, is that what do you want to do when it comes to making gold? Now I could go tell you to go do Mr. Pana raids or go do this and get this pet and so forth, but the whole thing, it comes down to you. The reason why I say that is that there's people who love to go on the auction house and just sit there for hours, not doing nothing, not playing the game, just sitting there and flipping stuff and making millions of gold, thousands of gold, so forth if they're lucky. And you know what? That's all they do. They play the auction house game and they don't play anything else. Or there's people like me who love making that raw gold, making that, you know, WoW token every week and so forth, and going doing dungeons, raids, so forth, and leveling up other characters to get more gold out of it. Or there's a pet battle people who love to go and, you know, get pets to 25, sell them, or help people get to 25 for so much gold. And there's other ways to do it. You know, you can boost people, so forth. And how you want to do it is just as big as why you want to do it. Now, there's a third part which is actually going to go into it, and let's get into that right now. This third part is actually very, very crucial, and this is something that you got to think about it. And this is before you get into any farm. Do you have the time and commitment to actually make gold? Everybody wants to make that 100,000 gold an hour or 100,000 gold every 5 minutes and so forth, but realistically, you're not going to make that. Do you have the time? Do you have the effort to put in to make that gold? That includes raw gold, auction house gold, pet gold, anything like that. Now, of course, you can go, if you're rich, go buy wild tokens, just sell them like crazy and make gold. That's the easiest way to make gold if there's anything else. Now, with that said, guys, those are the 3 questions you need to ask yourself. There's a lot more questions you should ask yourself when you're making gold or what you want to start to make your enterprise, but I'd say right now that those are the 3 main big ones. So let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is basically if you answered all of those 3 questions and you want to continue making gold and actually getting to be a gold millionaire, you got to get the add-ons. You got to get TSM, Auctioneer. You got to go to Undermine and check out Undermine, so forth. Now, Undermine is not necessary, but I love using it because it tells me the real prices of things. Don't get me wrong, TSM does too, but TSM does not use Undermine at all. So if you want to get a reading of your site, because TSM is updated every 15 minutes, go check that out, guys. It will be linked in the description. But get the add-ons. Do that. Get the desktop add-on for TSM for you. Make sure that you have your realm. If you want me to do a video, I will do a whole video how to install, how to show you, and so forth. Again, this guide is for you, the people, to get better and actually get gold. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other things you can do, but we're focusing on the basics, and that is all for this video. One of the big add-ons that I think you should actually get is going to be the Lode Appraiser. Lode Appraiser is pretty good. I actually like it a lot. It keeps track of what you get, tells you how much you get, and tells you if you got any good items and so forth. You can actually do a lot of stuff with Lode Appraiser, but I'm going to tell you right now that if you want a whole video about it, let me know in the comments below. I'll show you how to set it up and everything, just like the TSM, which I have planned. Now, I do want to say, after that, there's really nothing else you really need for making gold. TSM and Auctioneer is more than enough. So straight up, you can actually use Lode Appraiser. Up to you. Other than that, guys, I mean, if you want to loot faster, that's another thing, but we're not going into that. It's more about the basics and stuff to get started. So let's get into the next segment. So this next thing that I want to talk about is very simple, and it's basically doing your research. Now, I do videos, and obviously if you're new to my channel, you don't know that, and you check out some of my videos and you're like, oh, that spot's pretty cool, or if you're a returning subscriber and you missed a video, you're probably like, hey man, I didn't see that spot, I'm gonna go check it out. Now, that's great, guys. I'm glad you're going to be doing the spots and so forth, but I suggest you do this, okay? You take the name of the spot that I'm at, right? Go to Wowhead, or you know what, from now on, I'm probably going to put it in the description, Wowhead link, and it will show you the items that drop. Most of the time, you'll be able to see every single items that drop from the mobs there, and you'll be able to see how much they are on the server. You can actually get it and go to Undermine and check how much they're going for. Like, for instance, let's say some Shadow Fang blade drop. I'm just giving you an example, right? Let's say it's worth 100k. I'm like, oh, this bot drop is 100k. Now, you might like, yes, that's cool. I'm going to go do this, and I might get it. What if there's other items that drop there that never dropped for me? Now, don't get me wrong, I try to do videos that show, hey, these can drop here and you have a chance of that, and that's something I think a lot of people like. But if you don't see a video like that, or let's say you watch another channel and you're like, what else drops there? the best bet is to go do your research, go on Wowhead, and boom, you can actually check out that spot and say, you know what, they dropped this. Oh, I didn't know it dropped a gauntlet that's worth 500,000, so forth. So that's the big thing that you should be doing is research. Now let's move on to the next subject. Now here's a basic thing that I probably should have put at the beginning of the video other than the questions and so forth. What is your server at? And when I mean that, I mean, is it a medium server? Is it a low pop? Is it a high pop? Your prices will be so different when it comes to your server, and that's why I say Undermine Journal is a great place to go check it out. Now, I will say right now, I'll do a whole video on Undermine if you want me to. That's why I have no pops-ups here. Like I said, we're just talking to you, the person. We're not popping up stuff. We're not saying subscribe here, this and that, but we're just trying to get you into the Gold Guide series. Now, I do want to say right now that is a great way to actually look at your economy is to see if it's dead or if it's alive and popping. Now, don't get me wrong, again, Classic has taken over, but you kind of want to go to the high pop servers to the medium pop because you're going to sell stuff faster, but it won't be as much as a low pop. Let's say you got a Blade of Glory, right? Let's just saying that it's worth 100k in a high pop, right? It might be worth 500k on a low pop because no one has it. Now, it might take a long time to sell it, but that's the way it works. Auction house gold does take a while to sell unless it's an item that people want. Late in this game, auction house is kind of hard to sell compared to raw gold. Now, with that said, guys, I don't know anything that I've missed, to be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff I could go over, but this is, again, the basics. I don't want to get too much into the stuff that in immediate. I don't want to get to a higher end, and I don't want to show you spots or anything in this video because the whole point was just to talk to you and actually get you through the basics because if you're new, if you're old, we always get rusty. So I just want to freshen it up. And next episode is actually going to be basically showing you some stuff and getting you through the auction house and getting you through some raw gold because I think that we need to start getting y'all some gold because 8.3 is coming. That's another thing. A lot of people underestimate the fact that 8.3 and a new expansion coming is, just around the corner. A lot of people are just playing Classic, and I understand that because, it must be fun back then, and you're just reliving your fun. Me, personally, I started to miss the Panda. I don't see, the whole thing about Classic, but that's because I'm a Mr. Panda baby. Now, I do want to say right now that 8.3 is going to be a surge of players and going to be wanting to buy stuff for raids, so forth. The best bet right now is to stock up because there won't be that much new stuff. There will be some new minerals and so forth, but I will say a lot of things will be reused from what we have now. I do want to say too as well that whenever the new expansion comes, that new expansion is going to hold a lot of things. If you have your gold right now, just hold on to, and you're just stockpiling, you're literally going to be ahead of the curve when it comes to gold making. Now, with that said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you loved the way that I did this, if you want to actually more one-on-ones, let me know in the comments below, guys. Like I said, I did it. Players and even old players need to make gold, and one of the many ways are to farm. Today's episode will cover the concept of farming. We will be covering some key points you should be looking at when taking a farm in consideration. So here is what we'll be covering. Is the farm shown level and eye level friendly? Is the type of farm raw or auction house gold or even both? Is the farm legit? Is the farm shown in the video first ran or did the YouTuber run it many times to get a good value? Is said items worth it on your auction house? And do you have the time to actually farm the said spot shown in videos? So let's start with the first question. Is the farm level friendly? When looking at a farm, most new players are max level and low eye level. In this situation, a high-end farm content is harder for new players to do. Example, a new player is eye level 285. Wants to farm the hottest thing at the moment, raid BOEs, which again guys, this is not the hottest thing, it's just an example. If said new player started a group with low eye levels to run trash runs in Palace, on Mythic it would be a long and hard road. Doable, but more effort for something that could take hours for a BOE due to eye level and how long to kill mobs. This is not the case for high eye level players, so a raid BOE farm would be great for high eye level, but not so for low eye levels. So moving along. Any content in BFA that is not in dungeons and not in raids is farmable by any level 20s. Thanks to the sync of mobs in your tune, this is going to be easier for everybody who's fresh 120. But there are two exceptions, Mechagon and Najashar. This late in an expansion, getting a decent eye level is not hard, but if you're a new player and are on the road to it, Najashar and Mechagon is not so friendly. Rares are not easy peasy and it takes more than one tune to kill the 120s and the 122s. Some rares are due to healing factors and just plain have a lot more HP due to some of the scaling. Also, this content is meant for a higher eye level than compared to the lower eye levels. So you're wondering, what about older content? Anything before Legion 110s can easily farm. Legion and before 120s can farm with ease without having to worry anything. Now, I will say right now, Legion raids and dungeons, you need to stay away from them because they're not legacy yet until next expansion. Once they're legacy, I will be covering this, and I will say right now, it will be worth the while to go do these. Now let's move on to the next question. When looking for a farm, are you looking to wait for gold or to get gold right away? Maybe both at the same time. Either way, knowing what you want is a plus when picking a farm. Let's use the Iron Docks for the raw gold example. Iron Docks is one of the best spots for raw gold. You can get up to 5k plus raw gold an hour by selling everything from greens to boss drops. But the auction house value of the most greens is overinflated, and be honest with you, it's just not worth posting on the auction house at the moment. Don't get me wrong, some of the blues will still sell because they're very rare. That said, Iron Docks are more of a raw gold farm than anything else. Now let's move on to the auction type of farm. Let's talk about Karazhan on an example. This is a raid that easily can be farmed by anyone. Go in, don't kill any of the bosses, just the mobs, and you're golden. Most items that drop here are silver and very low gold value if you sell to vendor. But when it comes to auction house, patterns and recipes are king here. Just look at the low end drop I got right now. It is 9k. I have got items here that are worth 100k and they are not inflated. They're actually worth that price. So you can see the big difference from actually a farm that drops tons of greens, which say they're 9k, 5k and so forth, to a farm like this, which is a more of an auction house farm that shows, hey, you know, you got one item in about an hour to 2 hours, who knows how long it'll take you, and it's worth that much. There are many types of farms out there: pet, gathering, drops, etc. But there are two main archetypes: raw and auction house. It's up to you to pick or do both. There are no rules to abide by. Let's move on to the next question. This might touch base with a lot of people out there. Is this farm legit? Now let's go back to the Iron Docks. Let's make a scenario out of this. You watch a YouTuber farm this and get 100k in 15 or 30 minutes. He or she goes crazy saying this is the best spot ever. A new player would fall into the trap and say, oh my gosh, this is so good, believing that the old YouTuber. This YouTuber is supposed to help their subscribers, not lead them the wrong way. That comes down to what type of person they are. The vet player will look at this and say, wait a minute, let me do some farming and see if it holds up. Now even if the vet or the new player does the farm, it turns out the greens are showing 9k to 10k, etc. To the untrained gold maker, they would think, hey, this is actually good and the YouTuber is right. In the Iron Docks case, you would need to check out your auction house, not TSM or undermine. This dungeon is overinflated and far from actual prices. Now back to the point, when looking at a farm, one should never take the results as solid proof or what you will get 100%, even for my farms until you try it. I say this because RNG plays a lot in farming items. I could go an hour and get a 100k item while another does the same farm and turns out said person does not get anything. That said, this does not make the farm bad. What makes farms no good or not legit is lying. Yes, I said it, lying, which leads into the next question that goes along with the last question. Is the farm shown in a video first ran, or did the YouTuber run it many times to get a good value? This is a question you should always ask when watching a gold maker. I personally show my first run unless I do a 10-hour run, which I show all. That said, showing the best instead of showing your first is not a good thing to do or take from if your question is this a good spot? The reason for this is most players don't have hours to farm. So if a gold maker or a farm shown is the best they did, it's kind of pulling their leg and wasting their time, because the player will go and farm the spot and most of the time will be let down. This type of farmers who do this to their subs makes me mad. But again, we are getting off track. To tell if whether this is happening or a farm is being shown this way, make sure to take into account, does the farm shown in the video keep getting or get the rarest items? Yes, I know some could get lucky and get items, but high-end drops don't happen all the time, if not rarely. Most high-end items have a less than 1% drop, so think about the rate at which the said items is dropped. It's one thing when a farmer says, hey, you know, this can drop here and you can actually get a great item here, compared to every time they show a video, it's, hey, I got the greatest item ever. This is basically a lie, because this does not happen every time to us farmers. Believe it or not, we have bad RNG most of the time. As a farmer, I think truth and being upfront is better than showcasing a farm that has been done 30 times just to showcase the best results they have got. With that said, guys, let's move on to the next question. Now for the last question. Is this set items worth it on your auction house, and do you have time? This is a question I cannot answer. Your server will be different from mine. The reason why I use undermined mid prices for my farms is because it's the average price among all realms, but in the end, it's all about you. You have to find the right time and the right spots that will benefit you and make gold for your server. With that said, I would like to thank you. Alright guys, so the first part of the video was Temple Incursion. It's going to give you a 695 raw gold without any items. It's going to give you 1,610 raw gold with green items, 1,057 auction house. Yes guys, I'll explain why. It's going to give you 16 greens and you're going to get a total of 112 tide spray. Now, let's go over a few things before we go into the second farm spot. This spot is not great for auction house when it comes to just greens. What you're going to want to do with the greens is sell them instead of actually putting them on the auction house, because auction house is not going to be your friend in this expansion when it comes to current expansion greens. Now the reason why I say that is because usually when another expansion comes out, then the greens start becoming something worthwhile because people are doing new content. Look at Legion and why Legion's greens are a lot more than say less WoD. Now with that said guys, let's actually move on to the more of the content. I do want to say right now that the main focus of this place is going to be the mount drops and the epics. Now the thing is that there's only one mount drop here. It's not mount drops. It's actually going to be worth at least 200k guys on servers. This is going for medium prices. Not all of them can drop it. There's only a few that can actually drop this mount, and those few is actually going to be Faithless Egg Tender and Faithless Defender. Those two can drop the mount, while the other ones can actually drop other gear. I do want to say right now I have a whole spreadsheet that you're going to be able to go over. Now the Faithless Warbringer can drop the Scorching Sword, which goes for a little bit too as well if you want that T-Mog, and also too as well the Wolf Pellet Great Cloak. So you got a lot to actually get from here, and if your RNG is really good, you can get one of these, or if not two of these. I didn't get one guys, and I would be lying to you if I said, oh yeah, I got one an hour, because that's not the way it works. Usually when you farm a spot, you're not going to get the best. You're probably going to get the worst when you first do it. A lot of people actually get to go and farm a lot of hours just to get what they want, and that's just the reality of RNG in this day and age. I do want to say right now that this is not hard at all. This farm spot, you just do a big circle, kill everything you see, and by the time you get back to the beginning, it's going to be respawn. So with that said, let's move on to the second farm spot, and that's going to be Shield Rest. I'll see you there. The second farm in this video will be covering Shield's Rest, a very easy farm to do for any 120. A long forgotten part of Legion that people overlook. In 1 hour I got 684 raw gold, 2,614 raw gold with items sold, 41,986 auction house gold, 31 of the greens, 0 epics and 0 blues, and 57 silk. I want to note that you will find all details and data in the spreadsheet below. So with that said, here is what you can take from this island. Trash drops are high, and every mob has a high trash drop. Spawns are fast. One quick island circle brings back the mobs and you can farm again. In my time of farming, no players have come here, so they've forgotten this or people just don't know about this. Fair amount of greens drop here, and with that, a lot of raw gold. The first run which I did is shown in spreadsheet. I ran 2 more times and the average went up from 4k raw gold to 5k. I even had one epic drop in those 2 hours. This is a good raw gold spot for those who love raw gold and decent auction house. Now with that said guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found 2 new spots that you'll be doing this weekend or soon to actually get some raw gold and auction house gold. Today's video will cover 2 things you should be doing to maximize your gold making. First thing is to list is actually going to be leveling at the moment. A PvP event is going on that is just plain OP when it comes to leveling ults. This PvP event is known as Revenge, puts 40 versus 40. The XP gained from this event while doing it is the second to none. I did this event and in 30 minutes got 2 levels from 110 to 112, almost to 113. This can be repeated as many times as you want. That being said, 80 plus is where it comes in handy more than lower levels. Either way, you can do it at any level once PvP is open. Now what does this have to do with gold making? Everything. You can level ults in no time and use these ults for old Mr. Panda and WoD raid clearing. Also, a vast choice of tunes with more professions is always a way to go when you're making gold. So I suggest to do this video while it's live. So the next thing we'll be talking about is your neck level, something a lot of people do not want to discuss because of the grind. I for one have 2 level 70s and it has paid off very much. Let's go over the spreadsheet and we'll meet you there. Alright guys, as you can see on the spreadsheet right now, we got a Demon Hunter unlocked at a level 70 neck level. The other 2 is going to be 1 non-level 70 and 1 level 70, which will go at the end. I do want to say right now that when I actually did all the world quests that was just gold and gear, not Azurite gear because you could not sell that, you can only break it down and scrap it. I actually got a 2,980 for the Demon Hunter and 3,229 for the lock. That's just a world quest. That's not including the emissaries, which gives us 8,000, because every single Azurite thing that you're going to be doing, every single one, the world quest, the emissary, are going to turn to gold. It's just plainly amazing when you have world mode on too as well. You're going to get 25% more. Now, I haven't covered Horde. I do apologize for that, but I will say that it's about the same too as well. But with that said, let me know in the comments below how much you got for a Horde player being a level 70 and actually having this. I did a poll the other day seeing what you are at, and a lot of you are level 70, level 60s. It's crazy how diverse it is, but I understand that the grind is just there and a lot of people don't want to do it. But if you do it before 8.3 and you give a few weeks of just have a level 70, you're going to see that raw gold is something that is out there for this expansion. A lot of people think that it's not, but it really is, guys. Now, there was another one that came up today. Actually, it's on a Sunday. So like I said, I had to put the video out today, Sunday, instead of actually on a Saturday because I had to work. But I do want to say right now that another gold quest came up for my level 70s because every world quest and every emissary is going to be gold if they're actually Azurite. I love how the feature is. They put that in. It's going to be something that I think that a lot of you are going to actually get to level 70 now for. Now, don't get me wrong, it's been there for a little bit, but a lot of people don't know this. Now, if you're not level 70, let's say you're at level 65, you're like, I don't care no more, I just don't want to do it. Guys, this is just one thing you should be doing because you're going to be making a lot of gold from here to 8.3. 8.3 is said to be coming out in January, so that's a lot of weeks, a lot of days that could be Azurite, 2,000 dough, 2,000 dough, 2,000. Just think about it. Let's say the average you're going to get is about 4 a week of Azurite and gold. I mean, that's what 4 times 2 is 8,000 each. Let's imagine if you had a couple of tunes like that, the emissaries plus if you get the rep from the emissaries, then you get another 4,000 per box. I mean, it adds up, guys. I mean, you still can make a lot of gold in this expansion. A lot of people just don't know the way to make the gold. You don't know the way, but the whole point is that you can make a lot of gold. And as you can see, these other 2 that I put up there is basically the 163 gold with 845 and 1,008 on a non-70 and with war mode on. Okay, this is with war mode on, so it's basically it's a little bit more than it's people who don't have war mode, but it's not as good as the level 70 next to it, which is 580, 1,881, which is 2,461. This is not including any of the gear that could drop or anything. I just wanted to go over a rough, just the gold itself. Okay, so now that you understand why 70 before 8.3 is amazing and it can increase your raw gold, will you be doing it? Will you be maximize your gold? With that said, guys, I want to thank y'all for joining us today with this video. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I did this video like 3 or 4 times, like doing the recording, and it all felt not right to me. And the reason why I say that is because this is a spreadsheet showing you about bags, how much the auction house price, the type, how much slots, materials used in price, and location farm. And in the future, we're going to have stuff for the Patreons and anybody else who stays up to date with it until I lock it for Patreons. Is going to have pictures, going to have videos, all that stuff inside this spreadsheet. It's going to give you everything you need to know about it, where to farm it, and so forth. It even has videos right now that you can check out in the spreadsheet for the farms and actually get you on your way. Now, Right there, I just told you everything you need to know about this spreadsheet. The other ones I did was about 5 to 6 to 7 minutes. I don't think that's needed. I think the whole point about this, when I show you some of the stuff, and I think that, something that helps you, is that just getting to the point and actually showing you. Now, I could end the video right here and say, I hope you enjoyed this video, but no, I can't. That's just too short. But I want to tell you right now about this spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is something I developed, and I really want to actually do more and more with this. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to be part of the gold guide that I'm coming out with for my Patreons. So there's going to be content that you're not going to be able to see unless you're a Patreon, a Mustache Royal. With the racial changes and stuff like that that's coming up in the next expansion, and also too as well in 8.3, like for instance the new allied race that's coming out for Horde, which is the little fox guy. I don't know how to say his name right. I would massacre it, or her name right. But the whole point is that they're going to get another slots of free for bags. And if you have the account slot free, then you have the max bag. You're going to be able to hold a lot of stuff when it comes to farming. Now, this sheet is going to be breaking down that all together, and honestly I think that is the best way to go when it comes to gold farming, is to find out what's the best for you and actually get that and sell it or use it to your advantage. And that's what I want to do with this gold guide. I wanted to make it more than just a page or just a like 100 pages. I want to make it to something like a site. Maybe in the future I'll do a site. I know there's Wowhead, I know there's MMO, I know there's also too as well Undermine, what shows prices, but they're not all in one, and sometimes there's stuff that you can't find for it, and honestly sometimes prices are out of date, which makes it a true hassle to people who are actually trying to get the best they can when it comes to items, bags, so forth. Now, real quick before we end this whole sheet goes over each of the bags' names. It goes over the expansions. It actually has the slots. It goes over the types, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm doing only the bags that are actually any, meaning that you can put anything in a bag. I'm not doing profession bags. Also too as well, auction price mid, which is US mid, across all the servers, not just basically my server. Materials used in price, which is going to go over deep sea, so forth. When I say deep sea, I mean, I'm just giving an example of the deep sea bag. It goes over deep sea satin, tide spray linen, and nylon. You're going to show you how many you need. It's going to be rank 3 for BFA, not the first or second rank. There's no point of going that when you want the least you can do. Also too as well, location of farm, which is going to be video on farm, videos and so forth that it can actually help you. And also too, the last thing is going to be locations. And when I mean locations, out of the way, the first thing I want to share with you is this amazing trash spot. This spot covers a lot of aspects when it comes to making gold. First thing is instant respawn. As you can tell, I am by myself and they are instant respawning like there is no tomorrow. The second thing you can take away from this spot is that you can do it all by yourself. No need for a group, but if you have a group, this will double the raw gold value, I can assure you for that. Third aspect is running a boon enchantment, and it's actually going to be a big plus for you, especially if you're running pet enchantment, because this is a surefire way to actually get charms. Each bag is going to get you 4 to 12 charms. It's an automatic 100% of charm drop when you get a bag, but I will say right now the RNG on it is just whatever it goes, because I cannot tell you how much RNG is on your side, and I will say right now that the RNG is from how many you get, not if you're going to get charms, because charms are 100% in the bag. And I do want to say right now that there's a lot of good items to buy with these charms, and we'll do another pet video just for that, guys, but we're not going to be doing it here. The fourth aspect is actually very simple, is that there hardly is anybody here, and to be honest with you, the only reason why they would be here is for the world quest. Now the fifth thing is profession. This is going to be a great spot for skinning, and to be honest with you, tailoring as well too. I got over 500 silk in an hour, and I'm going to say right now, remember, crafting is money. As for skinning, I have no results for that, guys. Let me know in the comments how much you got skinning in an hour. There's a lot of dogs here to skin. Alright guys, so let's get into the results for an hour farm. When an hour farm, I got raw gold trash was 2,396 gold. From actually the blues was 114, which are the tokens you can make. From crafting is actually going to be 1,692 gold. From pet charms, I got 32 of the pet charms, which is not bad at all, guys. And also too as well, I got 2 lock boxes, which actually gave me 143 gold, with a total of 4,345 raw gold. And I am going to say right now, that is plainly amazing for a solo farm. This is actually going to beat a lot of farms out there that I showed you that are raw gold. Now just imagine if you had 2 to 3 people here and you were just doing groups. It would just be plainly like just out there. I think it would be probably one of the best top of raw gold farms when it comes to group. And that's just a raw gold side. Remember, there is the pet charms that go on the auction house side. I do want to say right now I got 32, so I will say that I can go get a toy or actually the lower end of the pets, but those are easier to actually come by, and people are going to pay anywhere from 5k to 10k for those. But I will say right now that if you just save and get the high-end toys, high-end pets, you're going to look at 40k to 100k. It's just a really good way to get these pets and actually make some raw gold. So let's actually get to the cons that you know they were coming. I would be lying if it was all just rainbows and cupcakes. So let's get right into it. The first con is actually going to be very simple, is that the world quest is up here when I'm doing this, and that is the best time to do this. When the world quest is up, you get a lot more instant respawns compared to when it's not. Now I will say right now that even without the world quest up, if you go onto the ledge, not where I'm exactly at, but if you go up to the ledge and you kill those guys, they instant respawn no matter what. And I will say that is not as good, but it's, you know, it's close. But I will say that this world quest does stay up anywhere from 10 to 20 hours, and after that it usually has another one there, especially if you didn't do it. But with that said, guys, it's not a bad spot, and honestly that even if the world quest is not up, you're still going to get an instant respawn and no one's going to bother you here. So the second thing that we're going to talk about is basically, and this is the last con too as well, guys, no green drops. I didn't get a single green drop, and I would be lying to you if I said straight up, yeah, I got a few greens and so forth. Nope. The greens were from the crafting, which is fine, it makes up for it, but instead you get blues actually here, and that's the tokens that you get from each of the mob. Now, I will say right now, there probably is some greens that dropped. I have the worse RNG, and if I had a group, maybe I would have saw those greens. Let me know in the comments below if you plan on doing this while the world quest is up and you actually have, you know, a whole group. I want to see if you get any greens, or if it's just no green zone. Now I do know that Dauntless actually drops here, which is the tokens for Broken Shore, so it's something that, you know, just to put in there, and you can actually get those. You can get crafting stuff. I mean, it makes up at the long end. But other than that, guys, that's all the cons I could see here. I do not see anything else. Maybe if the horde comes and does it, but that's every spawn. That's every farm you do. You have the choice of the horde coming in and get it, or the alliance and so forth. But that's part of the game, and to be honest with you, if farming wasn't like that, then I guess it would just be too easy. Now I do want to say right now, the spot is located on a Broken Shore. Anybody can find this. I'm probably thinking every one of y'all know what the Broken Shore is, and I'll just have a map up in there and show you where the location's at. Now I do want to say right now that I want RNG to be in your favor, guys. I cannot stress as much as that I can show you these spots, but I cannot tell RNG to give you the best things ever and give you what I get all the time. Now with that said, let's get into the next section, and I'll see you there. Now with the cool farm spot out of the way, do you remember this video? No? Yes? Well, it's the spreadsheet I did for the weekly raw gold last week. It's been updated to week 3, and I'm going to be honest with you right now, it took us about 2 weeks and 2 days to get to 1 WoW token. Now, this is something I've been trying to preach a lot, and a lot of people ask me every time, and this is why I'm bringing it up in this video. How do I get a WoW token a month? And I simply tell them, and this is something that I try to preach a lot, is that go buy a WoW token with a debit card, okay? It's the best you can do. I'm just joking, guys. I had to do that. It's funny. I know some of y'all are going to click off, or some of y'all are going to be like, oh, you got me. No, but no, seriously, guys, do this. This sheet right here shows what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks and so forth, and actually shows you, hey, I did this, and I actually got a full WoW token. It's not bad, to be honest with you. Now, don't get me wrong, we're going into our week 3 on the sheet, but we're only about 2 weeks and 2 days. If you look at 2 of the days, it wasn't even full WoW gold. So if you look at it, we didn't get a full 3 weeks. It wasn't even close to full 3 weeks. And if you put time and effort, you'll be able to get at least a WoW token a month. And I will say right now, yes, raids take time. Yes, this takes time. But if you can actually put that across the whole month, it's nothing. 10 hours across a whole month, you know, just a playtime, and then you just do your dailies and so forth. Because obviously, if you're trying to get that level 70, you're doing your dailies already. And once you hit that 70, I know people are burnt out or something like that, or whatever you are. I mean, you might be a burnt chicken, burnt, I don't know, pig, cow, whatever. But the point is that, guys, is that once you get to that level 70 neck, and you're like, man, I don't want to do this no more, but then you see those gold missions. You see that every AP is gold. And you see that every emissary that's supposed to be AP is now 2,000 gold. Then you see that the islands are 2,000 gold. It actually goes bing. You're like, wow, I could do all this and get tons of gold and get my WoW token a month. Now, with that said, guys, let me know in the comments below what you liked about this video. Honestly, I had fun making this. I hope you enjoyed longer videos and not just like, oh, real quick, I'm doing this and so forth. I know my last video wasn't the best in the world, and I'm going to improve upon that. I shouldn't have done it that short. I should have went with the other style I did. I do apologize for that.